the night live stream. Mike in the night, Mike in the night. What is it you want from me? And do they steal our dreams so
Oh yeah, we can make it work.
Even though the circumstance is hard, if we try, oh baby, even though it's do or die,
we can make it work.
We should make it work. We should make this work. Oh, is it right to feel, baby?
Today is November the 17th, 2025. I welcome everyone to episode 625 of Mike in the Night. We are in season 33, episode 8, and I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night. Whenever you're watching this, wherever you may be watching this transmission, whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky or your camper or cabin in the woods, people of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. and something is definitely moving you. Thanks for being here tonight. Guys, I started the show 30 minutes early tonight. Just felt like starting the show early. I'm in the mood. I'm totally in the mood. And guys, if you want to just email me, mikemartins1980@gmail.com, go ahead and do that. And ask me to put you on our mail list. I email you once a week to let you know we go live on Mike in the Night. And get the email, come on. If not, don't worry. If you don't want the emails, just block me. But we are here, folks, tonight on Mike in the Night. I just felt like starting a bit early. It's a casual show. We don't really have any scheduled guests. We do open lines and get callers in for the first time. And just to give their opinions or points of views on what's happening in their neck of the woods across the Commonwealth and Europe and wherever you're watching from, right? So yeah, November 17, 2025, we are in the 47th week, ladies and gentlemen. 47th week of the year. The year is coming to an end. We are going into 2026. 100 years ago was 1926. You can't. When I was a kid, 100 years ago was like, 100 years ago would have been like 1886, right? And 1899. But now, time is just flying for everybody. And so we're getting people on the live chat here on... Thanks, guys, for being here tonight on Mike in the Night. And we got people on Rumble. What's up? We got Brian. We got all kinds of people here in the live chat. I appreciate you, Randy. Randy's saying hello from BC in the heart of the turmoil. Yeah, it's getting pretty intense here. And yeah, I miss you too, buddy. The other people are messaging me here on different platforms, and it's good to hear from you guys. And guys, keep the show in the background. The show sometimes goes a little bit lengthy. Keep it on in the background if you guys choose to. Just hear what the callers have to say. We got 2 first-time callers on last week's show. Last week's show was absolutely intense. It was really good. Anyways, I also want to, just a channel message here that I want to, or a channel update. Guys, if you don't agree with something I'm saying to you guys, or you just doesn't comprehend, or you don't have to send me garbage tech messages calling me a fraudster, alarms are ringing with you, and stuff like that. Guys, I don't get paid to be here. So I'm not making any money being here with you tonight on Mike in the Night. Not even a penny. I did all my AdSense for my calculations for all my coffee donations you guys send me. God bless you guys. The coffee donations, everything you guys send me. I'm with AdSense and everything I make. I'm at $564 for the entire year of 2025. I might make $600 for 1 year being on here, guys. Not being here 1 week or whatever. 1 year, 1 year's worth of material is worth $600. So I'm not getting paid to be here, folks. So I ask nicely that, especially if you're a regular caller or whatever, or you're part of the channel. No, it's not trolls, Alan. It's not trolls, buddy. It's people that have been on the show for a while. Sometimes flip on me, and we call it the Orlinger effect. And that's why we don't take donations as much as we used to, because there was a guy that came on the show for years, and one day he decided to trash me really bad, and then wanted all his donations back. All the donations he made to the show with interest. Yeah, that's how bad it is. So that's why I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and integrity is worth more than money. Thank you. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I've been here. Years, and I'm talking decades after I'm dead. People will be going back to this archival footage, looking back at some of these shows, looking back at what we were talking about, looking back on who we were, who are these callers, what was the deal, right? And the deal is right here on Mike in the Night. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We started a bit early tonight, so let's go into a channel plug, and we're going to go into lots of stuff happening around the world. And feel free to leave a link in the feel free to leave a link in the live chat if there's an article or something of importance or something we're missing here, or you want to add to something. And then we will open lines on our Instagram. It's Real Mike Martins on Instagram. Real Mike Martins on Instagram. There should be a link in the description if you want to call into the show and send me a message, okay? All right, guys, so let's go to a channel plug. MikeMartinsTax.com. MikeMartinsTax.com. If you guys are experiencing any tax issues, go here and just put your information here and go from there. MikeMartinsTax.com. If you want to buy me a coffee, there should be a link in the description. Heck, I just put a link right now too in the description. I already got some people buy me coffees already today. I appreciate that. And we got coffees already today from where to go? Australian James sent me a coffee. Anna Key sent me a coffee, and No Way Jose sent me a coffee here tonight on Mike in the Night. Thank you for that, guys. And let's move on. And you could also join membership on the YouTube channel of 99. You could join the 99 cent club. 99 cents a month, or $3 a month, or $15 for hardcore followers. KiwiRadio.nz. KiwiRadio.nz. Don't forget to check them out. And if you go to the bottom here, you'll find us hiding here. Mike in the Night. There was 624 there. Some of it is on MP3 format, guys, if you guys don't want to kill your bandwidth. KiwiRadio.nz. Don't forget to check that out. And Facebook, guys. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you very much, Facebook. We have passed 165,000 followers. Thank you on Facebook. Wow, 165. And I'm not bragging. It's because I kept getting banned on this platform. I kept getting banned. I kept getting kicked off, and I couldn't communicate with you guys. But there it is, folks. That is, I'm grateful, guys. 165,000 followers on that. And I think the Mike in the Night page just passed 99,000, I think it was. And MikeInTheNight.org, guys. MikeInTheNight.org takes you to every episode. Well, not every. Most of every episode of Mike in the Night that we're trying to find. And put this compilation together for you guys here. Just for the sake of putting the compilation together, right? So, anyways, guys. It's Mike in the Night. It is a beautiful, quiet night out there for you guys. A quiet night out there for me. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you could call in and tell me when we open lines. Oh yeah, did the budget pass? Someone asked. Well, we already made a short on the budget. I think they're spending. I think what they're doing is they're spending so many billions of dollars to save 50 billion. So 100 billion to save 50 billion. I'm not too sure what they're doing with that, but we looked into it. It's just a joke. It's a complete joke what's happening here in Canada. The economy, everything's falling apart. Everything is coming to an end here because it's just not sustainable anymore. It doesn't work anymore, right? Okay, so let's just keep going here, folks. Let's just keep rocking and rolling going forward here tonight. Sorry, guys, I got some distraction here in the hallway outside here in the house. And I'm going to... All right, we are heading over to Canada, folks, as usual. It's the real estate. People over-leverage. People borrow too much. And this is an interesting one tonight. Canadian insolvencies accelerate, hit the highest level since 2009. So insolvencies are hitting 2009 levels again. Where is it here? I just saw it. So we are looking at, oh, right there. So we're seeing insolvencies hitting 2009 levels right here. Why? Why 2009? Why is 2009 so special for Canada? Because in 2009, we were supposed to see the collapse. We were supposed to see a reset in Canada in 2009. And what happened? Well, the 2010 Olympics happened in Vancouver. And what happened? Well, Canada felt it was a good idea to open up its doors to Chinese money laundering, to bring in trillions of dollars to make housing unaffordable for the locals. So instead of seeing a correction, wages and incomes tied to real estate prices, nah, we don't want that. Let's drown the Canadian proper in debt. Let's lower interest rates to 0%. Let them compete with money laundering from China. Let's destroy the Canadian family. And there it is right here. Canada wants more Chinese workers, students, and tourists, the immigration minister said. They were quietly bringing in 500,000 per year. You were not seeing that on Canadian statistics. You look at Canadian statistics and say, I don't know what you're talking about, Mike, but it's only showing like 10,000 Chinese coming in a year. They are coming in as investors, so they're not coming in as migrants or immigrants. So they are coming in as investors, people. So they're not being counted through the typical Canadian immigration stats. So 500,000 per year are coming in. They bring money and lucrative. They're very lucrative in students and workers, where Canadian families cannot get jobs. Because the Canadian family's job is to basically build the bank. The Canadian builds the bank so the Chinaman can come in and work in the bank. Because the Chinaman won't build the bank, right? And let's just keep going here. Let's just keep going. Sorry, guys, I'm having camera issues here tonight, guys. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. So there you go again, our famous article here. So these are the billions of dollars laundered by province. That's from 2011 to 2015. So you guys could see that it actually ties in to what I'm telling you guys here with the timeline. And we told you guys that, and then what happened? Canadians, homes are new ATM machine, people borrowing too much. And this was in Canada 8 years ago. Canadian housing debt is growing, using homes as ATM machines. We were warning you guys, major Canadian household crisis. Canadians using housing disaster, people using homes as ATM machines, over leveraged to the max, over and over. Look, people are broke. So what would happen? What happened? People couldn't afford to buy food in Canada anymore. So what were they doing? They were using their lines of credits. They were using the lines of credit in the equity in their homes. Now people are complaining, oh, we can't afford to buy food now. We just can't afford to buy food. You couldn't already afford to buy food back in the day. You couldn't afford already to buy food back in the day because you were already using credit cards to buy your food, right? You're already using credit cards to buy your food, and that is the mistake you were making, thinking you're using the money and on the coattails of your house using that equity. Let's keep going. And here we go, 25,000, and what did that lead to? Artificial shortages, right? So here it is. 25,000 vacant homes. Let me open this up for you guys a little bit here. 25,000 vacant homes in Vancouver, causing artificial shortages and homeowners wealthy on paper. 8 years ago. Vacant home crisis. CCP money laundering. 1 in 10 homes are vacant. That was 6 years ago. Now like 1 in 3 homes are vacant. Vacant home pandemic is growing across Canada. Money laundering. CCP destroying Canada. 8 years ago. Massive homeless invasion to hit every city. Vacant homes. Emergency. Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, and UK. So this created artificial shortages, making homeowners wealthy on paper and making you broke. And Ottawa plans, remember this? This ties into our timeline. Ottawa reveals plans to welcome 500,000 immigrants per year. These are not immigrants. These are migrants that are coming in. Now, by 2025, 500,000 per year. Why? Because no one could afford to get into their own real estate markets here in Canada. People cannot afford to get into their own housing anymore. So they have to bring in 500,000 people a year to fix the housing market that the Chinese created. Now, the Chinese, it looks like, don't quote me on this, but do your research. It looks like the Chinese are behind funding the migrant centers, because the Chinese are funding our politicians with corruption. But they're also working on the migrant centers to bring in more people to destroy us. Yeah, the Chinese brought in the fentanyl. Fentanyl only comes from China. It's not processed in Canada. And we told you about the fake fentanyl busts. And this is where we're at. We are sitting ducks here in Canada, and I don't know why people just are not seeing the bigger picture so we can actually do something about it. Hey, I'm creating the awareness. Hey, guys, it's me. I'm not getting paid to be here, and nobody likes me. But maybe listen to what I'm saying. It might make some sense sometimes, right? So, yeah. Anyways, let's go back to our chat here. Are there no brick and mortar banks in China? Someone's saying. Well, they build their stuff with shortcuts, cheap concrete, cheap everything. It's all junk. It's not built like the European built it, right? So. All the drug and criminal money is more than all the GDP now. That's why they cannot let it go now. That's right. Go to our videos from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Chinese gangs laundering trillions of dollars in fentanyl. Bringing in the fentanyl because Canada doesn't produce fentanyl. And we kept telling you guys, fake fentanyl busts coming. Someone's asking, is Canada that bad of a country to be in? People can't afford to buy food anymore. The food bank lineups are going around the corner back to 2019. We're back at 2019 before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic. And where did it originate from? China. Everything. Connect the dots. People keep calling me China hater. I'm like, no, I don't hate Chinese people. Believe me. I hate what's been happening with our country because our governments are China. Right? Right. All right, let's head over to food. Someone asked me, Mike, you should be making a food video discussing the food prices. I made food videos 10 years ago warning people when the price of food catches up to the price of housing, you're going to starve to death. You'll be priced out of food. Here we go. Food prices in Canada keep climbing, but these grocery items will give you sticker shock. Yeah. What? Because it's catching up to housing. Here it is right here. Woo! Well, there's so many of them. There's so many food videos we made. Let's start from the top here. Let's see what we got here. Insane. So, people will be priced out of food by 2023. Foodflation. Insane food prices. Massive food freakouts. Insane food prices. Food prices to increase 67% in 2022. People will be priced out of food by 2024. Can't afford, that was like, what was that, 3 years ago? Let's find something older. Food prices spiking in a city near you. They can't hide the inflation. People to starve by 2022, 5 years ago. 2015 video. Canadian governments to tax food stores, rising food prices, and food to be unaffordable by 2025. Food getting expensive due to hidden inflation, $79. How much food did I get? So I was doing food haul videos 5 years, 9 months ago before all these social media influencers are doing it now. Some Americans have been stealing food to survive. Basic food to be a luxury in late 2024 in California. It just keeps going on and on. It's just nonstop. Food is costing more than my rent. I need to leave Vancouver, BC 9 years ago. Living a basic lifestyle is getting expensive. Food going up fast. $401 in groceries 7 years ago. So food prices out of control. At this rate, people can't afford to buy food by 2020. Buying foods on credit cards 10 years ago. So people were already buying food. Yeah. And look at this one. This is an important one, folks. Price of oil dropped, but food prices go up. They can't hide the inflation anymore. Foodflation hikes 9 years ago. Why is that video important? Because up until 9 years ago, they were telling us that the food prices were going up because the price of oil was going up, and the price of manufacturing the oil and transporting the food and all that stuff is going up. So food needs to go up. But back then, food was already hitting... oil was going to $20 a barrel, but the price of oil was crashing. Price of oil was crashing and food was going nuts, even though they were telling us for years the price of food goes up because oil goes up. Oil prices go down and the cost of food rises. Eating out is unquestionably pricey, especially if you do it often. One meal for a family of 4 in a nice restaurant could cost... So there it is. Food to skyrocket by 2021, 830%. Middle class can't afford basic food. Food shortages ahead. Nobody watched these videos. Price of food has surpassed my rent. Food prices set to skyrocket. Inflation issue ahead. Alberta, Sydney, Auckland, London, Los Angeles. Having food is like money in the bank. Prep now. And it's just kind of funny how, like, I don't think I had anyone even watch these videos. I think like 40 views, 100 views on these videos 7-8 years ago. And if you read the 3 comments on there, people are calling me nuts. People are telling me I am out of my mind. And let's head over to Carneyland here. Mark Carney hears boos from Grey Cup fans in Winnipeg. Boo earns! Are they booing me, Smithers? No, they're saying boo earns. And this is why we are completely hidden from social media for so many years. Do you remember that video in November 2024? Was it November 20 or 2022? I can't remember now. A man named Mark Carney is coming. He will become your next prime minister. He will become your next prime minister. Because he worked with the Bank of Canada facilitating Chinese money laundering into Canadian real estate. Then he went to the Bank of England and did the exact same thing. Mark Carney is coming. And I love the first comment I got on that video. I researched Mark Carney. He's a banker. He's not a politician. Unsub. And here we are today, folks. I keep saying that over and over, but here we are today. He is here. The man came. Because he has to continue his destruction of Canada. And yeah, let's get to some of your comments here. It's funny talking about these topics with people years ago and being branded as a weirdo and outcast. And here we are, 2020 famine conversation was not sexy. 2025, maybe they've succumbed. 2020, no, we were talking about this videos in 2016. There's videos that were 10 years ago. And people really thought I had some sort of mental problem. It's like, this guy believes that people won't be able to afford food by 2020. Oh, I would have been right if they didn't pull the trigger on the pandemic. I would have been dead right on 2020. Oh, Sandy Klein. Sandy, thank you for being here. And she said, Carney said today that people are getting ahead. Here we go. People are getting ahead, right? Right there. Fangulo. People are getting ahead. Or people are getting head. Like, I'm not sure what he's saying there, but...
Merry Christmas.
Anyways. Yeah, people are now out of credit and going hungry. That's exactly what it is. They use their lines of credit in their homes as ATM machines, like we were saying, to buy their food, and now they're starving. Right? So, now their homes are worth less than what they bought them for, But hey, you know what? I sleep good at night because I know I warned people about this essay. I know I was telling people, hey, check your TDS. Check your total debt service ratio. Don't borrow all this money, right? Yep. We got Shit Wrangler in the comments. Shit Wrangler needs to call into the show. Add me on Instagram, Real Mike Martins, and send me a message, please. I want to get some. I want to get some first time callers on the show here tonight. I'll check my message requests frequently tonight. If you guys want to add me, Real Mike Martins on Instagram, and you could call into the show, and we could discuss what is ailing you here, or what is happening in your neck of the woods. I really want to know what's happening around you. I really want to know what's happening, economic, employment, camera-wise. Are they putting up cameras in your area? Are they putting up weird light bulbs and changing the glow of the city with these LED bulbs? What are they doing? What are they doing at your work? What is happening, folks? Yep. James is saying it's sad to see seniors stealing food. The other day, I don't know. Well, yeah, it was it was the other day. It was on Wednesday of this week. Let me just confirm. I just have to confirm the day. Yeah, it was Wednesday. I ordered 4 pizzas on Wednesday. 4. And everyone that walked by my store, I offered everybody a slice of pizza. If they were homeless, if they were just passing through, I offered, not everybody, but everyone that walked by, I offered them a slice of pizza. And a lot of people are hungry. Last month, I bought different groceries and different stuff up at the No Frills. I drove into town to work. I opened my trunk, looked around, nobody was there. I went into the store, waited till some people come by, waited till I found a couple of people, just looking through garbage cans. Then I opened my trunk, and I live in a 2-stoplight town. There's 2 stoplights in my town. And I opened my trunk, gave some bread, some stuff, some meats like salamis and food to people, and I do that quite a bit, actually. I do that maybe 20, 30 times a year. I usually do it 2-3 times a month. The pizza one is easier because people get food on the spot. And I try all kinds of things when it comes to that. All right, who else is in the comments here? Who is here tonight for Mike in the Night? Yeah, so good to have you guys here tonight. Nick is saying, I used to work for normal people. Now I usually work for rich people. Yep. Yeah, live within your means, says Dead House. 100%. Just live within your means, folks. You can get a free TDS calculator online. It's free. Just fill out your TDS, fill out all your expenses, find out how much you're spending, how much do you have left over for food, and go from there. If you want to purchase something major, calculate your TDS. That's what I tell people. There's a TDS calculator online. It's free. We made this video 13 years ago. I remember making this video in 2012, 2013. Calculate your TDS. You want to buy a Sea-Doo? You want to buy a side-by-side? Calculate your TDS. Find out if you can afford to buy food after you buy that. What's left over? Eduardo is brought up a very, very good point. Very, very good point. Too bad we don't have private sector anymore. Hey, Gary. Too bad we don't have private sector anymore. He's right. The private sector is gone, folks. The mom and pops is gone. My little shop is the last of the remnants we're seeing. We're seeing restaurants, but they're not keeping up to the standard, the European standard that the Europeans brought here over the last 300 years. They're not keeping to those standards, the local restaurants anymore, right? Okay, TDS meter, also quality of water. Sorry, I'm talking about total debt service ratio. But thank you for letting me know that, Alan. All right. All right, folks. I got some stuff here from the United States of America I want to cover. Again, we're Commonwealth, so anywhere that speaks English. I got a gentleman that sends me a lot of information. A lot of information. Oh, no. See, someone's messaging me, Mike, I miss Saturday, Mike in the Night. I miss you. I miss your show. Man, so many people are messaging me. Guys, we are live right now. I just don't know what to do. I'm just going to send out a few messages here real quick, boys. Guys, remember, we are on the fly. And we don't get paid to do this. And, yeah, I'm just sending out a few messages here, guys, real quick. And, I may have a scholar calling into the show. I may have an author calling into the show. A gentleman named Dr. Edmonds. I got his book here. He gave me a copy of his book, signed copy of his book about child trafficking. And I want him to come on the show. He's spoken to me a few times in person. He's come to visit me. And so we get people asking if I'm live. Guys, we are live, folks. Look at the date on the bottom corner. There's no way this is a replay on the same day. Wow, the comments are moving tonight, guys. Thanks for being here again. I keep bringing up the same phrase, but thank you. At this rate, living off grid might be the only option, says Ghosty Projects. All right, let's move it along here. Let's head over to the United States of America. And Trump calls for House Republicans to vote to release Epstein files. Again, folks, back in 2019, we were already talking about the Epstein files on Mike in the Night, and conveniently, they pulled the trigger on the pandemic at the perfect timing. You see, that pandemic was perfect timing for governments, right? Trump calls for House Republicans to vote to release Epstein files. President Donald Trump called for House Republicans to take a vote to release files relating to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, explaining that it is time for the nation to move on from the Democrat hoax. So they're calling it a Democrat hoax. I'm going to tell you guys something here tonight. I'm willing to bet a shiny quarter that list has already been adjusted, remastered, everything. So it's properly set up for its re-release. They're purposefully remastering the Epstein file list so that they could release something so everybody could calm down. But we were already talking about this back in 2019. We're already covering it back on Mike in the Night. And then the perfect timing of pulling the trigger on the pandemic. And here it is again. President Trump makes U-turn. It's time to release the Epstein files. Why? Because the files have been adjusted. That's why it's time to release the files. They've all looked at the files now. They've removed names. They added names. They've created the list, checking it twice, gonna find out who belongs in the list. And there it is. And in addition to H-1B, Indian tech workers are exploiting the L-1 visa program. Okay, America, you have 300 plus million people in your country. Hire American tech workers. Hire American tech workers. I'm trying to say it as slow as possible so that your ears can catch up to what I'm saying. Why do you want these people in your country for? They don't build anything. They don't add to anything. If anything, they destroy your country, your culture, your language, your people. In God we trust. They destroy it all. So stop bringing in people that Americans could do the job for. And this trails back to when I tried to become an American. People say, well, why don't you move to America, Mike, if you like it so much? I did try. I went to Florida. I did all the paperwork. I got a corporation to sponsor me. I had to make sure I had $32,000 in my bank, which I did. I had to make sure I had a place in my name. Corporation sponsor me. I know I said that, but I'm saying it again. And they had to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. So I had to run ads for 6 months of the position I was going to work at as a technical director. And they had to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. All the paperwork goes through. Years go by. I go in to the office in Florida, and they basically tell me that we're not taking your kind right now, but you could reapply in 5 years. That's what they told me, so I left. And I was thinking in my head that I think 25% of America is completely illegal. There's absolutely no way that all these people living here are legal. I was thinking back then, this is like 2006, 7, and 8, that these people are illegal. And it doesn't make any sense. And let's move on to Facebook joke that put a veteran in handcuffs. In most small towns, a Facebook meme gets you an eye roll or maybe an unfriending, but the criminal charge in Hood County, Texas, is proving to be an exception. On November 5th, a Navy veteran and local media figure was arrested and charged with third-degree felony after posting what he thought was a harmless piece of satire. And there's a satire right there. And this page is clearly marked as a satirical page right there. I just wish they could put more effort into catching child rapists, murderers, putting half of Hollywood behind bars. I wish they could put that much effort into what they did to this guy. Put the effort into catching the people that actually need to be caught for crimes against humanity, right? Oh, remember this piece of crap? Chicago mayor scrambles when asked why his budget makes the economy work, makes the country, why his city has become worse. So this is Brendan Johnson here in Chicago. Basically, that's 36 minutes. I'm not going to go into that, but just letting you guys know that place is a war zone. And ICE moves to say 450,000 unaccompanied minors abandoned lost under Biden's border policies. And I remember when hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of Haitians were coming in, crossing the southern border. We covered, it was back in, what was this, 2020, 2021, at the height of the pandemic. All these people from Haiti were taking a boat to Colombia and then going in through Central America and waiting in Mexico. And our friend on the southern Mexican border was telling us, they have a wall on the southern Mexican border, and they were telling us that the Mexican government was issuing leaflets and pamphlets to the migrants coming from Haiti or wherever, from all over the world, to basically how to get through Mexico quick. And if they stay in Mexico more than, I think it was 30 or 40 days, they would be deported back to their country on their government's dime. So that's important that you guys understand that. And the open borders, Biden was basically opening the borders to basically destroy the American dream, or destroy America and bring it even further down a few notches. And again, like we coined it, when you bring in the third world, you become the third world. That's something we've been saying on here for over 15 years. All right. So we got PDS-10, my bodyguard here tonight. PDS-10 is one of those rare guys that knew me when I was a child. That knew me growing up. That understands, right? Our parents worked really hard in this country to build the banks, to build the my dad more worked on the Air Canada project, the stadiums, and the Skydome project, and the worked on a lot of those projects, right? And all right, let's move on. So we just did America. We covered. Let's get into some war. Let's get into a bit of war. I'm gonna refrain from swearing and freaking out tonight, because every time I bring up that piece of crap Zelensky, I get so angry. And we used to make fun of his green shirt all the time. And then finally, 2 years down the road, Donald Trump says something. Wait, you don't have clothes? What's the matter with you, man? What's your problem? Everyone's talking about the budget here in the chat. The budget passed. The budget passed. Let me find my short video on the budget, guys. I already covered this. They're spending 140 something billion dollars to save 54 billion. Of course, it's garbage. This is the biggest joke. It's even a bigger joke than when I told you guys a man named Mark Carney is coming. I think it was November 2024, or no, was it August 2024? I made the video. A man named Mark Carney is coming. He was the Bank of Canada minister and the Bank of England, and facilitated Chinese money laundering through our real estate market. And here we are now, folks. I looked up Mark Carney. He was a banker, not a politician. On sub. I'm sorry, I have to do that. I have to do that. Now, here we are. I've said that twice tonight. Because I have to. Alright, comments are rolling nicely here tonight. Okay, let's get into war. That's what they put you to, is war. When the whole economic bullshit falls, and people can't buy food anymore, let's go to war. Let's go destroy other people. Let's go displace other families. We go to war. All right, here we go. War. Ukraine's desperate draft in Kitselechko calls for lowering conscription age as men flee abroad. So more and more Ukrainian young men are fleeing the Ukraine. And what's the conscription age here? What are they doing here? They're drafting it. What's the age here? 18. Right there. They're going to fill the ranks. Their proposal to lower the draft age even further, potentially as young as 18 years old, into the meat grinder. And we've been telling you guys for years, don't take sides on this war. Everyone's calling me you're pro-Russia. I'm Portuguese. I'm not pro-Russia. Russia sent armaments and weapons through Cuba to invade Portuguese Africa in Angola in 1970, in the late 70s. Look it up. Look up what Portuguese Africa looked like before the Cuban invasion. Beautiful country. Stadiums, libraries, condominiums, everything. So I'm not pro-Russia. When you say you're pro-Russia, I'm not pro-nothing. You don't take sides on this. You never take sides on this. You're not making enough money to take sides in these wars. Here it is. Ukraine is facing critical shortage of soldiers. It's a huge problem, of course, because it's bullshit. And Israel not dare to wage war as Iran missile power stands high. And Ecuador reject the return of U.S. bases. More than 60% voted against proposal to allow foreign boots on the ground, official referendum results show. Why would Ecuador even want anything in its country? Why would anything foreign? Keep it domestic. Keep it domestic. Of course, vote no. And China, my favorite country, ramps up pressure on Japan with Coast Guard patrols and travel warnings. And, of course, China is going to flex its military might because they're losers. They're always screwing every country they go into, whether it's through money laundering, through fentanyl, through war, through buy-ups, through impoverishing Africans even further. China escalates military and economic pressure on Japan after PM Takanashi warns that the Taiwan conflict could threaten Japan's survival. And we've been warning about this Taiwan thing for over 15 years here on the channel. Go back, watch the videos from 15 years ago. And U.S. Marines exchange fire with Haitian gangs. Well, I guess the $7,000 that the Clinton administration raised for Haiti after that disaster or whatnot, or the collapse, the Clinton Foundation raised millions, but sent, I think it was $7,000 or $11,000 to rebuild Haiti. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Clintons, for sending your $11,000. Remember this piece of garbage? Israel government declares Palestine people are not human. So this guy should have been in jail. That's why I got banned on X. I got banned on X with Elon Musk because this guy should have been in jail. Hamas got played. Everybody got played. And that video was taken down 2.5 years ago. Once those attacks happened, we were showing you guys for 39 weeks straight the protests in Israel against this piece of garbage. Not my prime minister. And everyone called me an anti-hate, Jew hate or whatever. I'm like, no. I'm telling you what it is. And Israel's systemic use of Palestinian human shields exposed. And basically, this goes into U.S. intelligence from 2024 indicated that Israel officials discussed sending civilians, including women and the elderly, into potential explosive tunnels in Gaza. That intelligence was analyzed by U.S. agencies during the final weeks of the Biden administrations, yet the White House took no public action. Of course, they're going to use women and children. And Iran's missile power cannot be contained, says IRGC general. In Tehran, the commander of Tehran's IRGC force said that Iran's missile capability is uncountable. Nothing that enemies miscalculated during the 12-day war. And UK could seize asylum seekers' valuables, says minister. Guys, this is just the beginning of this. And if you're a gold and silver stacker, here's a announcement I made. I made a short earlier today. Please pay attention. All the silver and gold stackers, preppers, and those I'm leaving the country once the collapse hits. Listen up. The UK didn't just pass a rule to seize asylum seekers' valuables. Article's up, folks. No. This is a global pilot program. This is the blueprint for every Western country that is drowning in debt and ready to cannibalize its own citizens. The UK is now openly saying, if you show up here seeking asylum, we're taking your gold, your jewelry, your watches, and your assets. Everything above sentimental value. Okay? So how does this affect you? Now, everyone thinks, oh, that only applies to migrants. Wrong. They're testing the mechanism, or the framework they're doing here. They're normalizing asset seizures at the border. They're conditioning the public. Yeah, sure, take their stuff. Why should we pay, right? We're paying benefits or whatever. And once that logic is accepted, guess what? It becomes universal. When Canada collapses, when Australia collapses, when the US dollar implodes, when when people panic and try to move, The system will already be in place. You show up in another country with your gold bars, your silver coins, your emergency cash, they will take it. They'll say, you know what they'll say? You're an asylum seeker now. Hand over your valuables. It's policy. And most people are going to say, hey, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to settle down. They'll come for you. They'll come and get you. Denmark already does it. Switzerland already does it. The UK is launching it. Next, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the EU, even the US will do it under the guise of border management, right? This is the death of financial mobility, folks. This is the end of I'll just pack my medals and go. They're showing you the future here. A system where your wealth doesn't cross borders with you, but their control does. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying not to stop stack. I'm not saying to stop stacking, but keep stacking. Keep your water, food, preparedness, but don't fool yourselves into thinking you could just walk out of a collapsing country with a backpack full of silver. These governments are broke, desperate, and building the legal machinery to take everything you try to flee with. Right? This isn't about migrants, folks. This is about you. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. All right, that was a video I made earlier today reflecting this. UK could seize asylum seekers' valuables. Minister, many countries are already doing it. So, well, I'm going to El Salvador, Mike, or I'm going to Guam, or I'm going to Philippines or whatever. No. They're going to seize it, and if you go there as a tourist and you lie, they'll hunt you down. They're making it impossible for people to actually be able to move their physical assets around. So keep that in mind, guys. And I guess that covers it. I guess that covers the war. Let's see who's available. Maybe we can get Eduardo on the show. It's funny. I message people something and ask them, can you call in? They send me a clip of a video. It's like, I'm live. And the clip, or whoever you're sending me videos from, I could guarantee I've been on social media maybe 10 years longer than they have. So, it's... All right, let's see who's available here for callers. Let's see if we have any availability here for callers here tonight, guys, on Mike of the Night. We had 2 first-time callers on the show last week. We had a total of 5 or 6 or 7 callers. It was really good. And I don't know what to tell people. I could, anyways. Let me just see if there's a guy that wants to, asking if he's actually watching the show here. So he's following along so he knows what we're talking about here tonight, or what we've been talking about. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wait a few minutes to see if we can get callers on the show. I did go over all the headlines for tonight. And if we can't get callers on the show, then we will end the show. And, yeah, if I send you a link to the show, guys, watch the show. Especially if you want to call in. Watch the show. So then we know what we're talking about. So then this way, you come on and you don't know where we're going or what we're talking about, or... Yeah, we need Mouth of the South. We need Mouth of the South to call in, too, on the show tonight. If he can. He doesn't want to use Instagram. I don't know. Someone's calling my phone here. So, guys, add me on Instagram. Real Mike Martins. Add me on Instagram, guys. And if you just joined, go to the beginning of the show. Watch the show from the beginning. There's all people like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the show's about. It's like nobody. I've been doing this show for like, what is this? What is this season? Season 33, episode 8. That's longer than fucking Joe Rogan. All these fucking paid people on here. I don't make money on here. Yeah, I can't call you, dude. There's the input of the phone is not connected into the show. There's no phone on the show, guys. So if you want to add me on realinstagram.com, go ahead and add me on realinstagram.com. Realmikemartins.com. Real Mike Martins on Instagram. Holy shit. I can't even talk anymore. All right. We'll give it 10 minutes. See if we can get any callers in. Just message me. And if not, then I will wrap up the show for tonight. It's not a big deal. I'm not mad. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the real ones, the real people never make money online. I make almost $600 a year being here with you guys. And what does it get me? No one shops at my store. Everybody hates me. Everyone looks like I'm a piece of garbage. That's what it gets me. And then when you're right, and you show somebody, look, I showed you guys 8 years ago or 10 years ago that this is going to happen right now. Or this is coming. And you're right, and you're showing, look at the timestamp. What do they tell you? They tell you that more. Duish fuckish. That's what they tell you. Paul Walker in the house. What's up, buddy? Great show, Mike. Thank you for what you do. No problem, buddy. Junkyard Dog's got a good point. He made a good point here. Flood the Canadian country with American money. Get rid of the Canadian dollar and replace it with the American dollar. Again, this is the Amero. We've been talking about that for 15 years now. The Amero's coming. The unification of the United States, Mexico, and Canada to compete against the BRICS nations. Video's up if you guys want to see it. Do people in BC treat you bad because you're from Ontario? No, I actually moved here from Miami. I moved to BC from Miami Beach. So, anyways. All right, let's give it another 10. Let's give it a few more minutes, guys, and let's see if we could get somebody at least watch the show so you know what we're talking about, right? I send people links; they send me back links of other videos. All right, let's see if T wants to call in. All right. Last week's show was really good. Last week's show was really good. We had 3 or 4 first-time callers that brought up some very good, valid points. Very good, valid points, and I'm grateful for them last week. MikeInTheNight.org, guys. You go there. Here's the email. Join our email list if you want to join the show. If you want an email before I go live, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. I will put you on our mail list. I will do that for you guys. 100%. I will do that for you guys. And when I go live, you'll get an email knowing I go live. So we got Denise saying, listening from effed up BC. You speak my language. Thank you for bringing the truth, Mike. Thank you for commenting and let me know. That's on our Facebook. Eduardo's calling. Eduardo's always watching the show. Yo, what's up, Eduardo?
Oh, didn't you ask me to call in?
Oh, you call in whenever you want, buddy. Because I know you're actually following the damn show, so you know what's going on, right?
I don't know if anybody really knows what's going on, but yesterday on the Ray Bo show, it dawned on me everything that we're experiencing here in the West, the whole destruction of the Western countries, it's all based on the Kalergi plan.
You bring that up every show. Can you please refresh everyone with the Kalergi plan? How do you pronounce it?
Kalergi.
Kalergi plan. Can you please explain to the viewers what that means again?
So this guy, I think he was in Germany. He wrote a commie bastard sponsored by the Rothschilds or the Red Shield back in the day. Previous to that, they were called the Bowers. These people have changed their names all the time. The banksters, basically. They sponsored this guy to do a communist takeover because, communism reduces all of us down to the lowest common denominator, with the exception of a few very rich people, like the people in the political sphere. Cops do very well. Military does very well, but everybody else, you can eat the crickets.
Yep. Now, this is a deliberate, organized effort to reshape Europe's population through mass migration from non-European countries, and the demographic shift would weaken national identities and make countries easier to control. Am I right? Politically and economically. Am I right on this?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've been looking into what you were telling me. So mass migration is happening right now in many Western countries, and we're seeing many governments are openly pushing the multiculturalism and the, what do you call it, open borders or high immigration targets. We covered that at the beginning of the show. But hold on. I made a short that went viral on YouTube, on many platforms. The day Canada died was December 10th, 2018, when Justin Trudeau signed the UN Migration Pact, allowing Canada to open borders for migrants through the UN migration. And that's the day, in my opinion. Canada died years ago, but I'm talking about on December 10th, 2018, Canada truly died that day when he signed that UN Migration Pact. Because now the UN is actually checking in on Canada to making sure they're keeping up with their quotas of how many hundreds of thousands per year coming in.
So, are you talking about Justin Castro?
Yes.
Thank you. Just wanted to make that clear. Again, his dad was a commie. Personally, I think Canada died when Pierre Elliott Trudeau got at the power because, what was Trudeau's mentor that took Trudeau, the Castro's dad, or Justin Castro's dad, was a flamer. Maggie, his mom she was well known as a tramp. So if a gay guy marries a woman and he lets her do whatever she wants, I guess it works for her too. And he gets to have some kids and continue his name on, right? Even though the guy is gay, he's probably never even have consummated the marriage with Maggie.
Yes, they're calling
But
him.
anyway.
Everyone's calling him Fidel Trudeau.
Well, anyways, I just had something on my head. I was thinking about something. Maurice Strong, how come he never gets any credit for the destruction of the West?
More what?
Maurice Strong, he was a liberal backbencher, high up in the Liberal Party, behind the scenes.
I never heard of the name Maurice Strong. I have to picture what he looks like in my head because I do watch Canadian Parliament. Maurice Strong. I'm just trying to think who he is and what he's destructively doing to Canada. I'm just trying to put this through my head. What does he look like?
Some regular commie.
Regular. Okay, so it looks like a regular commie.
But anyways, he also coached Gerald Butts, who you don't hear anything about it anymore either. He was very instrumental with Klaus Schwab setting up the World Economic Forum.
Oh God, I know who you. Okay, stop. Maurice Strong.
Maurice Strong,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought you said Maury.
Sorry.
Maurice Strong. That was the founder. You're talking about the founder of the UN Environmental Program back in 2018. I covered that on Mike in the Night.
Before that, this goes back to 1969, 1970. World Economic Forums.
No, we're talking about
Him and Klaus.
UNEP, but UNEP came later in the 17s and 2016s, and he's the chairman of the Earth Summit. Remember? And then he was the architect of the early climate treaties.
Yes, that they said he was one of the instrumental guys that started all this crap with the World Economic Forum.
He was the Agenda 21 guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. I just Maurice. I thought you said Maury. I'm like, Maury? Who's Maury? But anyways,
Apparently he retired in China for a couple of years and he died there and he's buried there and he's a great hero there or something. Yeah, what a scammer, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And you know he's a little hat, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the big people with that come up with these master plans. But it always keeps going back to the agenda that was started in 1925.
Yes.
And it's all laid out in that book. I got to buy that book because people probably think, what the hell's that talking about? It's full of shit. This hasn't been going on since 1925. Well, the Fabian Society, which is based on the Fabians in Rome, they do small incremental steps and then slowly move their agenda forward. Like population replacement is nothing new. They say multiculturalism is so great. Man, they couldn't even hold it together in Yugoslavia.
Mafangulo. You know that now I'm remembering his famous quote, and I brought this up back in 2015. I remember his famous quote. In quotes, he said this: industrialized Western countries must be reduced. Am I right?
Yep, keep going. You're close.
Hold on. They must slow down and restructured for the planet to survive.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yep. That was that piece of garbage. Yeah. He basically wanted to stop the West from basically growing and becoming powerful, and I guess white man to complete, or the European expansion to keep moving forward and progressively as humans, you know? And it's like, that guy was all about degrowth, deindustrialization, centralized control, mass regulation. I mean, I could go for 4 hours. Go ahead.
Well, you can go for 4 hours. We should compare notes one day. I'm going to try to get that book if I can. Maybe I'll send you one for Christmas.
Can you sign it? I know you didn't write the book, but can you sign me that book?
I'll see if I can find it.
All right.
Hopefully it's not just in German. Hopefully it's been translated to English.
I can't read German, so. All right, I need to go.
Nein sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Eduardo, I need to go get some ice. My cup is. Can you just keep talking for like 3 minutes?
Oh, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, guys. Let me open the YouTube and see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Steve S. DRUGDS. Drugs are no good, even smokes. Yeah, Laurentian Elite are right on this too. Who's paying $2 a pack for smokes? As Bill Gates sees when he drops, throw is a Microsoft. So you guys want to talk about cigars? I can't really help you. Carney is a fitting name because the douchebag is a walking circus. You're referring to Mark Carnage, right? I wonder if he changed his name to Carney. Or is it because his political ideas are laughable? So he's like a clown? Maybe that's why he's called Carney? Like in a carnival? Mexican word of the day. Our prime minister says a lot of things, but none of them are Trudeau. Guys, you got any questions? Put in the YouTube chat. We got Jeff Nugent here. Cool. What else can I tell you? They were supposed to raise the Palestinian flag today in downtown Toronto. A lot of cops, a lot of division. Antifa's well at it. So Antifa's backing the Palestinians. How does it tie into the blue blood Nephilim?
I'm back.
Blue blood. I don't know about blue blood Nephilim. Until I see them or see proof of them, I really can't talk about them. Can you?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't even know that is blue blood. No, I don't. I'm not gonna go into that right now.
But the term blue blood, from what I understand, is if you eat from silverware all the time and you put silver in your water and you
Yes. Remember that guy with the white beard and he turned blue from drinking so much colloidal silver?
That's actually where the term blue blood came from, because the actual really rich people, they had silverware. They ate with silver all the time, silver cups, silver mugs. And yeah, you used to get enough used to turn your blood blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the term blue blood comes from. Or fed from a silver spoon. So it's like royalty.
Did you know that secretively, at the White House during the Reagan administration, they were bringing in colloidal silver in by the truckload for Ronald Reagan when he was feeling unwell. You know that?
Colloidal silver is very good. I even give it to my dog.
Yeah.
Just a little bit in the water. If she gets, she had a stick stuck in the top of her mouth and it turned black, so I couldn't really see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day she kept pawing at it. Says, "What the hell's wrong with this dog?" So I go in there with my fingers and start reaching around. And on the top of her mouth, she had a twig, about that big, about almost a finger's length, jammed up in the top of her mouth. Poor thing. It was there for months.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't understand why she had bad breath. Pulled that stick out. It reeks something fierce. Oh, man. Anyways, gave her some colloidal silver next day. Perfect.
Yeah.
So it is amazing. In the dog dish water. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give it to her full strength. And sailors used to put silver coins in the water barrels to keep them fresh when they're crossing the ocean.
Yes. Yeah. Well, 100%. 100%. Silver is the key to longevity.
And if you get bad infections or cuts on the skin and something gets infected, put a silver impregnated cloth over the bandage and a little bit of salt water, and it usually wipes out most infections. Expensive bandage, though. I've used them myself. Usually when I get a knee replacement nowadays, I don't know if they're still doing it, but for a while there, they were putting silver bandages over your staples when they staple you up after you had knee transplant.
Oh, they don't do that no more. They stopped doing that because that actually helps you.
Well, why would they? No, why would they do that? But yeah, anyways, back to migration. And you said there's 500,000 more Chinese coming in as investors. Can't say I'm surprised.
Well, they have to. There's no way, because the Canadian proper cannot get into its own real estate. And if it did, they're over leveraged, and that's why people can't buy food.
Well, the other thing is GDP per capita is going down in Canada. Why are we bringing in all these people with IQs that are below 70?
Well, why are they bringing people into? It doesn't make any sense to me. Portuguese, Italians, Greeks build the banks, build offices, buildings. To bring in Chinese people to go and work at the banks and offices because their kids don't qualify to work? Like, what? Why?
It's part of the Kalergi plan. If you look at it, we got to get that book. We got to rip this book apart. People say, "What? You mean they've been planning this for over 100 years?"
They have.
Yep. And they got the ideas from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically another flavor of Marxism.
Yeah.
So it's great. You know, Marx, he talks about all this bullshit, and we know it doesn't work. And then you got Kalergi. It says, "Well, I'll figure out a way to make it work. Let's bring in lots of people from third world countries, destroy the West, dumb down the white people, reduce the standards in the schools, In Ontario, I witnessed it. I can't believe it happened in Ontario.
What the fuck is that?
When I was a kid, I was a solid D student. 14 years later, I have an accident. I go back to college and machine shop for math or teaching. This is stuff I remember learning in grade 6. This is first year at college for a machine shop where you need good math skills. So that's how far down it went in the 80s to the mid 90s. 15 years, they destroyed the system. Now, lately, I've been dealing with a bunch of issues with suppliers, people at banks. And I'm thinking, God damn it, I asked people to check their work to send a wire transfer. And the wire transfer, the people that are sending it back says, I don't think this is the right code. Says, you sure? Says, yeah, you better double check. I called the guy back, sending the wire transfer. Says, can you check this transit number if it's correct? He said, yeah, I'll get back to you in a couple hours. He says, nope, it's the right number, 0002. This is back on Wednesday. So Thursday, they said, okay, we'll try the wire transfer. This morning, I call him back, says, hey, that wire transfer go through? Says, no, it got rejected. The transit number was bad. Remember I told you the transit number was bad to double check it? Call people that are doing the wire for me. I says, you guys have done this before, right? And I says, oh, yeah, we do them all the time. Then what the hell is going on back there? What's going on in your back office? I want to talk to the person that verified this or they filled out the form originally. This is going on for freaking week already. A week. And I'm thinking, man, we live in an idiocracy. So whoever's working in that back office, I don't know if they're brain dead, if they're doing crack, or if they're on fentanyl, but idiocracy. We're
it's
there.
someone that doesn't speak English, but they came here to work. They don't hire a Canadian to work there and say, oh, that's number 4613. They hire somebody, obviously, that doesn't speak. I don't speak English. And then that's what happens, right? They bring in, that's what happens. The Europeans build the banks, and then the Chinaman comes in and works in the bank. It just makes no sense at all.
Well, to our liberal viewers and leftists, tell me this thing. No. They think they're doing what they think they're doing and voting for is a good thing because they've been brainwashed to regurgitate what they're told on mainstream media. Let me ask you this. How has unbridled immigration improved your life? Or the life of your neighbor? Or the life of your kids? Oh, you're racist, Mike.
Yeah, right.
That's all they can say. Sorry, guys. I've been under the weather all weekend. But yeah, we're getting replaced. No question about it. It's all part of the Kalergi plan. And mixed race, dumb down the society. But people are going to start paying. You're going to see the standard of living drop even more. The reason why we did so well in the West, we had excellent education. We had good work ethics. We had good European values. That's why we all got along. When I was a kid, we had our neighbor was Italian. Then there was Germans beside him. Then there was Hungarian Jew, and then Italian again. Another Italian. Then there's the Austrian family. We all got along great.
Yep, it was like me. Portuguese, and then next to me was a family from Grenada, and then that family from Grenada next door was a Canadian, I guess 4 or 5 generations Canadian, and then it was Italian, Portuguese, Italian. Across the street, Italian, Portuguese, Greek, Canadian, Italian. And we had block parties. We loved each other. It was the best thing ever. Because we learned to coexist with each other and share and love one another.
Yeah, everybody ate pretty much the same thing. Most of us were Catholics or Christians. European food, sure, there's Italian, but a lot of Italian food's been, it blends in. You got Germans eating food that's Italian, but they put a German name on it. Suddenly it's German. No, yeah. It's European food.
Yeah.
A dish like borscht. You can have borscht in England. Hungarians eat borscht. Germans eat borscht. Austrians eat borscht. Even Yugoslavians have borscht. Or peppers, pickled peppers. Everybody in Europe eats that stuff. So our food was similar. Everybody had a garden in their backyard, did they not?
Mm-hmm. Everybody. My dad had his garden. I still have my garden. I have a garden. And my dad had every neighbor, especially there was one Italian guy. I think his name was Joe. I'd go in his backyard. He took up any gravel or anything that was there and created an entire garden. And then he had these 8 or 9 by 2s. I think they were 9 by 2 planks going across so he could have his tomatoes, so he could walk around the garden without going in the dirt. And he had these planks of wood. He had his tomatoes. He had his zucchini. He had all the cool stuff that Italian. And then I'd go over to his place with his wife and his kids, and they'd make bruschetta. They'd make all kinds of gnocchi, all kinds of Italian food. It was the best experience of my life growing up on a predominantly European expansion street. It was the best. My whole neighborhood. You either spoke Portuguese, Italian, or Greek, and the Polish came later. The Polish came in the late 90s. But it was just fantastic.
So when we moved from North York, well, one side of North York to the other, west side of North York to the east side of North York, it was a very, Domino's area, it was a very white-centric, not so many Europeans. There was some Spanish kids down the road. There was a mixed Japanese couple. But most of the people, some Egyptians, but most of the people were like white. And I come home after school. Well, it's September. Got to crush the grapes, press the grapes.
Yep. I used to help my dad pull that thing to make the grapes, to make the wine.
Yeah. And people would be walking by, garage doors open. What are you doing? I says, well, come in. I'll show you. This is I gotta make the wine for my dad. You're an 11-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? I says, well, chores. My dad says, crush the grapes. I gotta crush the grapes.
Yeah.
In a couple of days, I'm gonna have to squeeze this.
Yeah, used to pull that real tight, and that thing would compress, and that wine would come out. My dad would make, I don't know, like these big jugs. Like, I'm talking huge. I'm talking about like 18, 23 gallon jug, huge glass ones, and he'd fill them right to the top. He'd always put like 2 shots of whiskey once it's wind up. He'd put 2 shots of whiskey in just to help it ferment a little bit quicker, and leave the cap off, and then let it ferment, and it'd stay there for weeks on these shelves, these huge shelves, and then he'd drink all that wine over the winter, dude.
He was probably always happy, wasn't he?
Yep. Yeah, my dad was amazing person, man. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky I had my dad, boy. Oof. So lucky.
But it's amazing, what our parents used to force us to do, and that's how you learned. Now, that being said, I should have paid attention more when I was making red wine, because my dad made some pretty good red wine. His whites were hit and miss. Whereas my whites, I read a whole bunch of books because I prefer white wines. So some of my white wines, some years are just exceptional. Even the guys that buy the grapes from the farmers, I let them try it and they're just blown away. Says, how do you make this from these grapes? This is, well, you got to be spotlessly clean when you're working with whites. You never allow the air to touch it, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can. But yeah, our parents taught us by chores. We learned a lot. Excuse me, I said I was under the weather. Anyways, what else you want to cover tonight?
I don't know. We're just covering. I covered a lot of stuff. I don't know if you watched the show from the beginning, but I did cover a lot of stuff this show. We covered a bit of war, U.S. Epstein list is coming out. I wholeheartedly believe this Epstein list has been refreshed. Checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice.
It's all an act. Why would they hire an actor like Donald Trump to be president? Why was Ronald Reagan president? Because he was a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
It's all an act. People pull these strings. They're all puppets. But it looks good for the most masses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like Carney when he said elbows up. But then what he forgot to say is elbows up and bend over.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more accurate. So it's partially a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he just can't remember that many words in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We got to get our Bank of Canada back in Canada.
Dude, if they want to fix Canada, it's very simple. So simple. Just do an audit going back 20 years. Get all the money laundering out. Sarah Huckabee Sanders in Arkansas, the governor, she just says CCP out. We're just taking back everything you put in. Proof to us it wasn't illegal funds, laundered money. We'll let you keep it. They reclaimed so much land, so much stuff in Arkansas. Now the housing prices have dropped, the condo prices have dropped because of the amount of CCP money laundering that went down in Arkansas. And now she fixed it. And she's working to fix it even further now. So, yeah. If we could go back to 2010 and actually fix all the laundered money that came in from China, let's say we could clear up $2 trillion in laundered money. That would bring our housing market down like 70-80%. It would be within wages. 70-80%, Mike, you're crazy. No. Your taxes have gone up. Food has gone up. So it needs to go down 70-80% so you can afford to live in a shelter.
So last winter when I was in Argentina, I don't know if I told you guys, for $4 US, I got 2 regular size shopping bags full of oranges, tomatoes, cucumbers. What else would I buy? A couple onions, like full, $4 full. We're talking 20 plus oranges, plus all these veggies.
Mm-hmm.
Could barely carry the bag. It thought it was going to rip.
Mm-hmm.
$4 US. Here, probably paying closer to $60. So someone's making money, and there's no stickers of appeal down there either.
Mm-hmm.
You leave the fruit on the counter. Bananas, for some reason, used to last a week. I don't know why. Whereas here, you bring them home, they're green one day, and then about 2-3 days later, they go yellow, and then 2 days later, they're brown. And they taste better in Argentina. I don't know why.
Because they're real, man.
Or because they were picked when they were riper, maybe, or
because they're real bananas in Argentina, dude. I was in the Philippines. There was like bananas everywhere. I was picking them off trees. They're starting to go black. I just pick them off trees and eat them. There's little seeds in them. They're completely different from what we have here.
Well, it was a United Fruit in around the 1900s. I think they bought up huge swaths of land and they standardized the banana and they planted those bananas. That's why we only know the one banana. And then that one had a problem with the root system or some kind of there's a mold or some kind of disease was affecting them. Then they went looking for the next standard banana, and then they redid all the plantations. That's what we still have today.
Someone in the comments saying bananas are for carny.
Anyways, anybody else calling in?
Yeah, I'll see. I got some people here on the back end here in my. Let me go in my general chat. I got 3 or 4 people here. Maybe have time to call in. So, guys, add me on Instagram, Real Mike Martins. Real Mike Martins. And do we have any coffees here tonight?
Any what?
Coffees. So we got a donation from No Way Jose and Anna Key that was earlier today, and Australia Cheems for sending me a coffee today. And I just want to give a shout out to people that have sent me coffees here on Mike of the Night to help the show go, to help to pay for some of the overhead. And Eduardo, I make right now, because I go through my accounting, right? So all the donations go into my corporate account, and we might break $600 this year from donations and AdSense and PayPal, like everything, like $600 for the year.
It's not bad if you're living in third world poverty.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to tell people, instead of sending me hate mail and telling me how much you hate me for saying something or spreading fake misinformation, I'm not getting paid to be here. So be a little bit more nice.
Hey, that's almost $2 a day. It's almost $2 a day.
Mhm.
You can send one of your kids to a third world country where they can live for $2 a day.
Dos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one of the kids are sending out to the third world?
Oh, they'll learn a lot in the third world, especially if they have to go out and fetch their water, go out and properly use their bathroom system. They'll learn a lot, boy. Oh boy, will they ever!
I don't think you can ever do it because we know you love your kids.
Of course, I love my kids, but yeah,
Yeah. But what a threat that would be, eh?
yeah.
When they all kids misbehave. Say, you know what? It would be cheaper for me to send you out to some impoverished nation for $2 a day. You could live there.
I could send them to the Philippines. We have a house there too.
Yeah, but Philippines really isn't third world, is it?
Not really at all,
Yeah.
but you can still get by on $2 a day.
Really?
Oh yeah, two
Yep.
U.S.
Nah,
dollars
not-
a day. You can. Yes, you can.
Not Manila,
No, I'm talking about where my house is, where I live, in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
middle of nowhere. Okay, guys, if you're gonna call in on Instagram with your friend Mike, you got to go to messaging, and in messaging you'll see the option with a phone and a movie camera.
Yeah.
So if you want to call in, just click on the phone. If you want to come in like I am with your camera, so we can see who's talking to us, hit the movie button.
All right.
It's pretty easy. It
It's-
actually still trips me up. I go into Instagram thinking, how the hell do I call this guy again? And it said, oh yeah, messages.
Yeah, on messages.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
All
All
right,
right, man.
Eduardo,
Enjoy the
God
show.
bless you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for backing up the show. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay?
Hey, end of year's here. When are we going to do our prediction show?
Second week of December, we'll be doing our 2026 prediction show.
You think maybe we should do a special on a Saturday night or a Sunday night? When did you usually do your show? I forgot now.
We used to do shows every Saturday night, but we were competing with the real content creators that showed up after COVID to tell us what we already know. So
Really?
the real people get pushed to the top. So,
I can't find anything good to watch on a Saturday night.
Well, but the real people are there.
It's all crap though.
But they're real people. They're the ones that get paid, right? They're the
Yeah,
ones that, yeah. So I know what you mean. I know. But Monday nights is good because nothing's on Monday nights, and Monday nights is usually the day that people have free because they have no barbecues, no family, no school events, no nothing. It's Monday.
Actually, Raging Humanist is on tonight. Jeremy McKenzie.
Okay.
He gets thousands of people watching him,
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
and he's good. He's honest, and he's an actual vet that cares about our country,
Mhm.
and he knows what's coming.
Good.
All right, man. Later.
God bless you, Eduardo. We'll see you later.
Next caller, please.
All right. All right, that was Eduardo there on Mike in the Night. So looks like we have a Helder. So we got I think he's watching the show. He said he's watching the show. So let's see if he's available for the show tonight on Mike in the Night. And he could call in and hopefully he could call in and tell us what is going on in his neck of the woods. Mike in the Night is streaming. Guys, don't forget to sign up for our email list. Email me at mikemartins1980@gmail.com and say, Mike, add me to your email list. I don't want to miss a show of Mike in the Night. You are tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth.
Is what we have the power to set us free. Mike in the Night live stream. Mike in the Night, oh Mike in the Night. So join us in the chat room. Join us in the chat
Hello.
room.
Helder,
Yes.
touch bone.
Todo okay too. How are you doing?
Estou muito bem aqui, graças a Deus. Guys, we got a gentleman on the show that found me through one of my, I think it was my Facebook or Instagram reels about Portugal. And he reached out to me and we had several conversations together and a couple of links back and forth. And here he is making his first appearance on Mike of the Night. What do we say your name was going to be? Helder the Great or King Helder?
Yeah, my background. I'm from the blue blood of the Portugal kingdom. I'm from the house of Avis.
That's correct. And I have the coat of arms here on this page right here on Mike in the Night. I've used that coat of arms quite a bit with the crown and the yes, that's the Algarve, right? Am I correct? Algarve, Brazil.
No, that flag is from the United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil, and Algarve.
Right.
It's the real flag of our kingdom, of our people. That's the real one, not that the one everybody knows that red and the green is a Mason flag. It's from the Carbonaria, the Italian Masons.
Okay.
That's the symbol of the ones replaced the monarchy in Portugal. That's their flag.
Mm-hmm.
But our people don't know that, right? You burn, think this is a good flag, and you don't know the history, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. But
Now,
the main thing of our people, our flags, is the shield, right? The what is in the center of the flag, right? Is
yeah,
the
this right
Guinness.
here, folks. You see below my name right here, there's a little shield there with a crown up top. He's talking about that shield. And the Portuguese Empire really, really ran things for a long time. Oh boy, did they ever. And it made the English and the Dutch and all these other countries envious of the Portuguese. They made them hate the Portuguese. They made them go after the Portuguese. We were branded as pirates. Dude, I was working in a dealership in Vancouver at a Chrysler dealership selling cars for 2 weeks. I worked there. And I quit. They came to me and said, "Oh, Portuguese people are pirates. Don't tell people you're Portuguese. They're the worst people in the world. You don't want to be branded as a Portuguese." I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. Yeah, the many people don't know why they attack so much the Portuguese, because the enemy, the one is from the dark side. They know who are the chosen ones for do the missionary job in the planet, because the foundation of our kingdom is starting with the miracle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where when Christ show up to Dom Afonso Henriques, the first Portuguese king,
Mm-hmm.
and told them he gonna win the fight against 5 Muslim Islamic kings,
Right?
and he said for them to make a flag with the 5 shagas of Christ.
The 5 stab wounds of Christ.
Yeah, and that's what he did. That's that symbol of our flag. That 5 Guinness, and because he created that flag in that day, and we win the
What can you explain to
fight.
people what year this was? Roughly
In 1139.
1139, yeah. And that's when the Portuguese rid the Muslim occupation in southern Portugal.
No, the south, till the end, until conquered the Algarve, We just conquered all Portugal you know now
Mhm.
in 11 no 12 19
Okay, 12 and
12
19.
19 yeah 12 19 we conquer all the territory you know now is Portugal.
Right.
Yeah,
That's older.
and
That's the
until that,
oldest.
before 250 years before the Spanish, right?
Oh, the Spanish
Because
were
Spain,
late. The Spanish were
yeah,
late. They actually believed Columbus was from Italy. The Spanish actually believed the Columbus
yeah.
was Italian. That's how fucked the Spanish were in the head.
Colombo is Portuguese.
A hundred
Colombo is
percent.
from
He was a spy.
Alentejo.
Did you watch
Yeah,
the video I made? I worked so hard on that video about
yeah.
that.
I watch. Yeah, yeah. It's but I told you right. Some things in the time when you did that video, maybe you don't know it because have some other truths. The truth is is not all out out, right?
Hmm. Oh
For
well,
many
it never will
reasons.
be out. They don't
Yeah,
allow it to be out.
for many reasons. The same like here in Canada, right? We create the name Canada. Canada is a Portuguese name. I
Hmm.
mean, Canada. We call not Canada. We say Canada. Canada of water. Canada d'água. What is a Canada in Portuguese? Is a small stream of water,
Hmm.
and we call that name because where now is the
Hudson.
San Lorenzo River, right in Quebec. The river goes until the Lake Ontario,
That's correct.
and
Yes.
that's because that river and this we come starting the name Canada, and the name we didn't because the Court Real family. We are the first brothers of the Court Real. They are here in Canada from 1443.
Yeah, Louis Labrador and all these people were way before
Yeah,
Columbus was even born.
exactly. No, but the Templars, the Portuguese Templars, who are here in the North America from 1334.
That's right.
1334 means 200 years before officially we come with our spy because Cristóbal Colombo era a Portuguese spy, James Bond in the time.
Hmm.
He had a W7 Portuguese.
Hmm.
We create that personage for the kings of Spain. The king of Spain don't follow us to India because our treasures or uh, more or business more important than in India, right?
Hmm.
And we don't want nobody to follow us. That's why we create all that uh, fake stuff for Colombo, bring the Spanish to here to North America and don't go to the India and China, right?
It's kind of funny how Christopher Columbus tried to tell the king of Spain that, oh, I didn't find any gold, but I got something better. We got slaves.
No, no, this is the other story is a lie too.
Hmm.
You know, is a lie because they want to say this Christopher Columbus is a bad guy. He did slavery. No, who created slavery? Are the Muslims, right? The
Hmm.
Islamic guys. They
The
are the
Muslims,
thousand,
you know
the
that the
more that
Muslims in the Quran refer to Ethiopians as raisin heads?
exactly.
Yep. So, guys, he's talking about. So this is the video I asked King Helder to watch. Was Erased History: The Truth of About Christopher Columbus. It's on our channel, and then the formation of the Military Order of Christ is right here, and how I forget those ones, and the Tartarian Empire, decommissioning of pyramids, and I read from journals of Portuguese sailors that were going around and I guess discovering Tartaria and mapping Tartaria Occidental y Tartaria Oriental. And I have a picture from one of the rare books I own in this video here for you guys, explaining how basically what the Portuguese were discovering. They're talking about how Antarctica was mapped in 1826 by some Germans. I'm like, no, Portuguese were already there, boys. 300 years before you guys even existed. So calm the fuck down. And this is the problem we're having today with history, is they're erasing history. And I don't know if you saw my little short video I made today, how now they're trying to say, Helder, you're not going to believe me, that the Armenian genocide never happened. Now they're trying to, Turkey is saying that the Armenian, and I pick up a history book from 100 years ago, and it tells me it happened.
No, that's what they do all the time, right? We call the reset, culture reset, all kind of resets. The same thing like I told you about the truth about the Templars, Knight Templars.
Mhm.
The Knight Templars, they start in Portugal, before the name till is not Portugal, era Condado Portucalense. Before Portugal be a kingdom, era Condado Portucalense, and where is now the north of Portugal and some parts of Galicia.
Mhm.
That's where start the order of the temple, created by us Portuguese, till from my family, and not the French. Like they try. Everybody believe the temple start in France. No, it's a lie. Temples are Portuguese. That's why when they persecute us and they kill some of the templars and this and that, like everybody knows that part of the history.
Mhm.
We just come back home, right? Like now, where a lot of immigrants in Portuguese in France, millions. Means if start a war now, what that people gonna go come back, gonna come to Portugal.
Mhm.
That's what the Templars did. They started being attacked. They what they did. Okay, come we can do nothing here now. Let you go home. That's what we did, and that's why we just replace we substitute the name. We replaced the name of the order of the temple for the order of Christ. We just changed the name of the order, and we continue all your money, all our properties, everything what from one order passed to the other order, right?
Mhm.
That's when some guy saying no, the real Knights Templar are the Masons, are from Scotland, from England. I say to everybody, this is a big bullshit.
Mhm.
If are the real ones, why all the treasures, everything come to Portugal? Why Portugal have everything?
They're trying to
What
accuse. Espera. They're trying to accuse Portugal of stealing Brazil's gold. Mafangulo.
who you gonna steal something what is ours?
Mhm.
Well, Brazil that never exist. Who created Brazil? Who create the confusion the guys have? We found, yeah, we found South America, the continent of South America, right? But Brazil don't exist in the time. The Brazil everybody knows now, the giant country. We built that country. We did the frontiers. So we right. That's why Brazil is Brazil, because that not. And when some guys that say the Portuguese stolen the gold, this and that, how are we gonna steal something? It's ours, right?
Mhm.
Uh, that's the thing. But majority of the people is stuck like that is stupid people, is ignorant people, because 80% of Brazils are Portuguese, like it or not. Because until 100 years ago, everybody in that place had a Portuguese mix with the natives of Indians or South or Africans, and all Portuguese. No Brazilian don't have Portuguese blood, you know. And the other guys come just after Second World War, like the Italians, Germans, Ukrainians, Japanese. That guys are just 70 years in Brazil immigration.
Merda.
Just 70 years means how many millions and millions. Majority of that's the thing. Majority of the people are Portuguese, but because the brainwash that is these guys, the ones from the synagogue of Satan,
Hmm.
they are there controlling the country, they are controlling the media, and they starting talking bad about the Portugals. They talk what they are. They say the Portuguese are thieves, the Portugal are bad guys. No, they are that the sons of synagogue of Satan. The ones they say they are Jews and not. Because the real Hebrews, that's other reality, right? The real Hebrews are us. We are the real Hebrews, the Portuguese and Spanish. That's how they hide from history. Who are the real Hebrews? The real Hebrews are the Portuguese and the Spanish. And
But
these guys, they want to
I'm not
pass.
really on the side of Spain, though. Spain went with guns blazing, determined to show who's boss. The Portuguese never went with guns blazing. The Portuguese went, hey, let's make a deal here. The Portuguese were diplomatic, and the Portuguese were outnumbered. The Portuguese knew they would lose, but they diplomatically worked with people. The Spanish were with guns, as pistolas, ready to shoot
Exactly.
anyone. You know,
Yeah, but why? Why? Because we have a difference, right? Portuguese and Spanish have something to differentiate us. What? Because the kingdom of Portugal like start by the divine apparition of Christ, and it shows us to be the people gonna missionary the planet, talk about his words to all the people don't know about him. Christ don't chose the Spanish, right? It's chosen us. That's who the people need to understand. Why we I take I talk when I say about Spain. I tell everybody Spain is like our cousins.
hmm.
It's a family too. But each one in his house. I go there, I go dinner with them, fine. They come my home, come dinner, everybody. But don't take my house. Don't starting fight saying the house is mine. Like all these years we've been fighting each other.
Hmm.
We need some people are saying we need to unite again. No, never. When we try to unite, never the thing goes well.
No.
Why we gonna try again? No, we're friends, we're Christians, we're Catholics. Okay, we're gonna try to play again together to make a better world. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, we're gonna do a partnership to try to clean that world and to try to do something, but not unite, not saying we're gonna be together in same with the same flag. We are Portuguese, they are Spanish. We have a lot of similar traditions, but not all, not
No.
everything. And that's why we are proud to be Portuguese. They are proud to be Spanish, and we need to know each one have a different mission. And the one thing the Spanish don't like it because they know who are the chosen one from Christ chose us, not them,
Hmm.
to be the representatives of the Christianity and the missionaries in this planet. That's why they attack the Jesuits, right? The Jesuits are a Spanish order created by the black nobility in Rome. Means Spanish and Italians in this thing are against us because they knew it. We are the number one in the Christianity. Christ shows us to be the leaders of the Christianity. And they say, hey, if we let the Portuguese grow too much, after we can handle the guys. That's why they attack our order of Christ.
Right.
For example, in 1540, the order of Christ almost is frozen because they say, you guys can do nothing now. Now we have a new order. The Vatican wants the Jesuits to do everything what the order of Christ are doing. That's what happened. They attack us. Rome attacked our order of for the second time. They attack first in France with the order of the temple, and after 200 something years, they attack again, attack our order of Christ. You know, but we still alive. We still here. The order, the order is stronger than ever for the right moment for the restoration of the kingdom, and we have the prophecy to implement in the planet the fifth empire, the empire of the Holy Spirit,
I
and
spent I spent a good percentage of my life defending Portugal and being a Portuguese and I'm part of the military. There's my military order of Christ, and I've been trying really hard to educate people and wake up people and make people understand that they are erasing the history of Portugal purposefully. Because once
exactly,
people realize that there was an empire that actually traded fairly and actually was fair with commerce, that creates a problem. And a lot of the Dutch, the French, the English, the Americans, they started to see that the Portuguese were becoming a problem, not to the people of the countries, but to them. Because if people, like Japan only traded with Portugal for hundreds of years and said, we don't want to deal with no one but Portugal because everyone we deal with is ripping us off, right? So,
exactly.
and that's why we are, even when I was growing up, I was very disliked for being Portuguese. I was very disliked for being Portuguese. I even lost jobs because I had an employer pull me to the side, okay, at a fast food restaurant and said, we couldn't run an ad that said no Portuguese, but no Portuguese. And he fired me. They hired.
Exactly. That's a thing many people don't know. For example, here in Canada, many people don't know many Portuguese live here in Canada. But for my last calculations, we are more or less 3.5 millions. Means 10% of population is Portuguese in this country. Many people don't know that. But this is just for that last 50 years immigration, 3.5 millions. Because who are here, like you know, from 1334. Newfoundland, or Terra Nova, Portuguese Terra Nova,
Terra Nova.
and Labrador, Nova Scotia. All the natives are mix of Portuguese.
Nova
All the
Scotia.
natives.
Nova Scotia is Portuguese for New Scotland, by the way, for people listening. Nova Scotia
Yeah.
is New Scotland. Louis Labrador, Terra Nova, that's all Portuguese.
Exactly. And in New Scotland, if you check some the big tribe there, the natives, they have a lot of traditions. They have a lot of traditions about. They say they are descendants of the Templars, right? But they think the Templars are English. That's the problem. They say they show the flag. They say we're descendants of the Templars. We're mixed with the Templars, and they think they are mix of Templars from England. But no, never been English Templars in that land. They're all Portuguese. They are all mix of Portuguese, and you see some of the face, some ones you look, you see something look Portuguese, right? But they don't recognize. Just a Portuguese recognize other Portuguese, and they don't know that. They think. In the other day, I see a guy in Toronto, right? I don't know what the guy is from Newfoundland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, man, look at Portuguese, right? He's a plumber, but I look like that. I say, hey, man, you're Portuguese. No, I'm from Newfoundland, and I mix of Indian. He showed me that the card they have, the natives, and he says I'm half a Scotch and a native. And I start saying, you don't gonna cheat me. You are look at Portuguese. You walk like a Portuguese. You work like a Portuguese. And I ask them, you like cod fish? I love it. You love cod fish. You like white wine? He said, I love white wine. You say, man, I look you very far. And I said, yeah, he's a Portuguese guy over there.
Mhm.
That's why I starting to talk with you because you look like a Portuguese, you walk like a Portuguese, and you say you're not Portuguese. Something wrong, man. You don't know, and you are from Newfoundland. Newfoundland were there 500 years.
Mhm.
500 years mixed with the natives and this and that. That's the one big lie they create here in Canada, saying some guys are mix of English or Scottish bullshit. They are a mix of Portuguese, but they hide that thing because we're here 100 years. Some people says no, the Portuguese come here just fishing, and after they go back again. No, listen, we know what this country is. We know how much golden mines have in Newfoundland. The place where our gold in Canada, and the Portuguese know about gold in everywhere, and here, no. This big land, no gold, just caught fish. Yeah, man, just caught fish,
So
no gold.
so
We here we explore all kind of gold in Africa, in South America, no, but Canada, no, we don't. Here don't have mines, don't have golden mines, just caught fish.
so now you are now right now in Canada. Can you explain to us what is the trajectory? Where is Canada going in your opinion? Like things are getting really bad here out west. I live in British Columbia, and things are really getting bad and
The
getting out of hand.
the
Where do you
things,
see
the
Canada
things,
going? Where's
the
Canada?
thing.
Where is Canada going?
The things is like you see, right? You talk a little while here in the show. The plan, the New World Order have a plan for North America, right? They want to unite the Mexico, United States, and Canada to create one kingdom. And because they want to create 10 kingdoms, right? Is North America is the one kingdom, South America the kingdom, Africa the kingdom. Europe is already the European community is already one kingdom
Yeah.
for what they want, but that's what they want. That's their plans. But their plans don't gonna go forward. All that gonna collapse because the prophecies of the Bible prophecies, this don't gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It means the prophecies then they gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be persecute until under the stones, says in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be persecuted under the stones. What is under the stones? Is the bunkers? Is that underground cities they build? They
Mm-hmm.
think they're gonna be hide and nothing gonna happen. No, it's in the Bible. The people of the world gonna persecute these guys until under the stones. We say in Portuguese, debaixo das rochas,
Mm-hmm.
debaixo da terra, underground. They're gonna be. We know where is all the secret cities. We know where all the maps. They don't gonna hide nothing, right? They
Mm-hmm.
think they're gonna close the thing. No, they're gonna. Okay, they're gonna close, but never they're gonna come back.
No.
They're gonna be the biggest cemetery for these guys. They are paying millions to die there in that luxury apartments on the ground they have.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go there and they don't gonna come back. That's it. They just more close to the hell, and they don't know that,
Yep.
and they don't
So what do
see
you think?
what's
So
coming.
let's get into a little bit of Canada here because there's a lot of people watching us here from Canada. What is happening with this country? It's completely. I know you. Yeah, they're going to create the empire. Yeah, I get the unification. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But how do we wake the people up? Like, what do we do to wake some of these people are
We
asleep?
we
Dude.
we, we Martins. We for the people just listen when you talk about money, right?
Yeah.
We need to talk about money. Canada is the rich country in the planet. After Brazil is Canada. Okay,
For
we
minerals.
are the number two in gold. We are the number two in oil. We are the number one in diamonds. The Yellowknife is the biggest mine in the world, in the planet. We are the number two in Niobe. We have rare lands. We we are number one, number two in all kind of resource. Means what? A population of 40 millions of people here. We suppose don't nobody pay taxes, and in the end of the year,
Yeah,
from
we should be
the
getting dividend checks for living here.
exactly.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, King Helder, that you should know. I don't believe. Eu não acredito. There's 40 million
Yeah.
people in this country. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been across this country from coast to coast by car, by plane, multiple times by car. I don't see that we have over. I think we have 8 million people in the West and 14 million in the East Coast. I don't think we have 40 million people. I am really sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe
No,
what the population
no.
they're telling us.
This, I'm saying 40 because that the last 8 years of that immigration all open doors.
But the
I believe
Canadian,
now.
the Canadian proper is dying. The Canadian proper, a lot of the fentanyl coming in, wiping out entire families. People are coming in to replace us, but they're wiping us out with the Chinese fentanyl. There is no, I
Yeah.
don't see Canadians having, I talk to a lot of Canadian people, a lot of European people that are here. They're not having kids anymore, brother. It's all coming in, but I don't think we're being replaced fast enough. I think there's 8 million people on the West Coast and 14 million on the East Coast, brother. I can't see us having 40 million. We don't have enough housing in existence. Okay?
Yeah,
To
I
house
know.
40 million people.
16 years ago,
Mhm.
the population at 34 millions.
But
16
we
years
don't even have
ago.
34 million homes in Canada,
Yeah.
brother, is what I'm trying to say. We don't have
Yeah, you
34
don't.
million people.
You can't have 34. Or you don't gonna have one house for each person. You
No,
need
brother,
to
but I'm
calculation
saying we just
one
don't
house for
have.
4 people or something, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is we don't even have. I think we have about 18,500,000 residencies across 18,500,000 across all of Canada. We don't even have enough housing for 45 million people. I think they're lying on a global scale about the world's population. I
Yeah,
don't
this
think there's
is
7
true. This
trillion
is
people
true.
here.
For example, we did a research in Brazil. Okay, Brazil are tell everybody they have 210 million populations now.
Mhm.
But we did me and some friends there in Brazil because I have I'm always there too, right? Um, and we did a calculation. The population, the real population in Brazil, is 180 millions.
Mhm.
Means they are saying 20 30 millions more. They are lying about 30 ghosts, 30 million ghosts. You know for how good is that, right? If you want to fake elections, right? You have
Mhm.
30 millions. They don't exist, and they say they vote in somebody that, and after you want to stolen natural resources, right?
Mhm.
You put in the name of that fake ones. You need, and for example, that 30 millions, they say they are retired. They receive a check every month, right? Come from the Bank of Brazil to pay that 30 million ghosts. And that money goes, you know what, for that politicians, right? That's why the people don't understand why they fake the numbers of every country, because if you can fake a million of until in Portugal they have 10 millions and they say it's 11, means you don't know for sure. But after they say 1 million of the Portuguese are retired, are paying 2,000 euros a month, means all this money disappear, and you believe they are paying to somebody old and this and that. But no, means all the countries, I believe, is like that until China. They say China is 1.5 billion
Bullshit.
people. It's
Bullshit.
bullshit. I
I
believe
pulled
it's
out
too
I
much.
pulled out one of my history books that was published in 1876. I think it was 1876. I have the book upstairs, and it was
Yeah.
telling me that the population of China was 23 million people at the time, and they were fearing by the year 1980, the population in China should reach 980 million people. if provided they had 3 kids per family, and they had the one-child policy during the Reagan administration. It's complete, absolute bullshit. I believe
Yeah,
there's
but
400
it
million
is.
people. 400 million people live in China, and 200 million of them are over 65 years old. Faz as contas.
Yeah, I believe maybe it's too much the thing. Maybe is that maybe 600, 500 millions, I believe, more or less. But 1.5 billions, I don't believe.
No bullshit.
And and all these countries, the communist countries, right? They do that, right? Because it's one of the best ways to stolen the money, right? They say, "Oh, I'm paying so much to so much people," and the people believe, believe the country, have so many population. They need to give money to everybody. We can't ask too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they do, right? That's how they manipulate everything.
Mm-hmm.
But about here, about Canada, like you said, what we can do? We can do show the natural resources of this country. For example, 2 days ago, I talked with somebody, a Canadian, and she don't know it. Canada have oil. A woman of 40 years old, and she don't know what Canada is the second biggest producer of oil in the planet.
Yeah.
Means like her, maybe 80% of Canadians don't know nothing about Canada, what Canada has or not. And that's the problem. We need to tell everybody
Mm-hmm.
we are the more rich country in the world. And the elite, that liberals, that Nazis, that's the real name of the guys, that Nazis, they want to exterminate all Canadians.
Yep.
They don't want natives from here to say, no, I want a share of the natural resources. They want to exterminate. If we don't stop these guys,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to exterminate all the Canadians and replace for new guys who don't know nothing. The new immigrants, just they want a little bit a better life than the country they come from.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know nothing. That's what the plan is going on. That's why they create that shit. What is the name? The MAID program
Yes,
to the
we covered.
suicide.
We made a
Suicide.
prediction. We made a prediction 10 years ago that one in 5 or 1 in 10 Canadians will use MAID by 2025, and that was our prediction 10 years ago. And we were talking about euthanasia and assisted suicide. And a lot of people say to me, "Mike, what are you talking about? I don't think 1 in 10 Canadians have been euthanized." And I asked them, "Did you trust the science? Did you take the vaccine? Because that's part of it."
Yeah, but the real euthanize is the biggest crime they are doing to a human.
Mm-hmm.
You know when they do that suicide assisted suicide,
Mm-hmm.
they give 2 injections. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
1 injection paralyze you. You're gonna be paralyzed. You're gonna see everything. You're gonna listen everything around you, but you don't gonna move. And the second one gonna kill you. What that injection does to you, gonna make you drown. Like you're gonna die, like you are drowning in the water. All the water of your body go to your lungs. You'll die like you are drowning. Is the more crazy death you can have. This is not by chance. These are the revenge of the pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
All these satanic sanamagans, they are pedophiles. If you see what shows in the Bible, what God says, I the ones touching in my kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? Gonna be worse than you go with a stone in your neck sink in the ocean, something like that, right? Means the what God gonna do to the pedophiles, the ones that somebody do bad to childs, is worse than drown in the water in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Means they know that pedophiles what they are doing, God gonna revenge. Then what they are doing, oh yeah, you're gonna do this to me after I pass away, then I gonna do to your to your sons here. I gonna kill them like you say you wanna kill me. You understand?
Mhm.
This is not by chance. These guys do that murder they are doing with so for the people suffer so much, and exactly drown like you are drowning in the water. This is a revenge of the guys.
Mhm.
The guys are doing this because they say, God says, if I what I'm doing, that child sacrifice, that sexual rituals, and this, I gonna when I die, you gonna drown him in the water. Okay, I gonna start to drown your sons too.
Wow.
That's what we need to talk to everybody. That scientists, that doctors, that whistleblowers, they show the truth. They show the tests of how the effects of that injection. That injection makes the people die with a big suffering, the worst death you can have. How is possible after we have the proofs that doctors, that scientists go to that programs that that internet like yours here
Mhm.
or something, they talk and they have the proofs. Means if we don't have proofs, but we have the proofs,
Mhm.
how how bad these people are doing. We can't for me, we can't be more quiet now. We need to scream to the world what's going on. We need to stop. And not just that, many people don't understand. All the police are public servants,
Mhm. Of course.
are all employees.
Mhm.
Many people say the police this, police that. Is easy what you need to do. If you see some police for like these guys, they murder the Astros, right?
Mhm.
There in Vancouver. Every guy is supposed to ask the name of the guy, the badge number,
Mhm.
and saying we're gonna file a paperwork and you're gonna be fired. You don't gonna be more public servant. That's it. That's what the people need to replace all these guys. The politicians, same shit. The politicians, all they say they are representatives of the people of the town of the province, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to wait 40 years. No, it's like they are employees. Like for example, I have a company, right? I have my factory. I have the guy working for me. Okay, the guy said, it's a good work. I contracted the guy. But after a couple months, I see the guys just do bullshit, just do crap's job. I don't gonna wait for 3 years to fire the guy. I gonna fire right away, right?
Mhm.
That's what we need to do with all public servants. Doesn't matter if he's a police, if he's a politician, if he's a doctor, if he's a professor, if he's not, or a judge, if he's a judge, if he's not doing the proper job, if he's not showing the competence for the job, he's fired. That's it. Don't
Finished.
work more. Finito.
Akabo. Hey, I got a donation from John. Thank you for the donation, and Dennis for the coffee donation, guys. I really appreciate the coffee donations here on Mike in the Nights. It helps a lot out, and I really appreciate that, guys. Link in the description if you want to buy your boy a coffee. We got King Helder on here on Mike in the Night, making his first appearance here on Mike in the Night, um, giving us a little bit of insight on what's happening in Canada and around the world on a global level. And yeah, so you're here with us, Helder. Is We're gonna wrap. Give us any big final words you want, because we'll get you back on. And what we do, Helder, on the show is very simple. We rotate people every 3 weeks. If you want to come on in 3 weeks and you have an update, or you want to tell us something, or we need to know something, or you want to add to something, go ahead and come on the show and tell us what's going on. Or if I bring up an article and I'm like, wait, Mike is missing something here. I think he's forgetting something. Call in and tell us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know
Exactly.
what's going on, because it's very hard for me to carry this show by myself all the time. It's good to have people to come on, and that's why we open lines and give us an update on where things are going. So, Helder, is there anything you need to tell us? I think we have another caller that wants to call on to the
Yeah,
show.
the only thing I may tell to everybody are listen as it's don't be afraid. Be a good man. Be a real man. A man don't supposed to be afraid. The majority, if he's a Christian, be a Christian. A Christian means is a man. uh, Don't stop. Don't be quiet. If see something bad being happening in front of him, he stop. He fight. That's what we need. Christian people or good men to fight if see something wrong, if see something go against the family, if something go against the the security of the country,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we see we in that situation because the men don't are doing the work of the men,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if we do it, we stop this right away. That's why I talk like I told you last time, with the Portuguese community and Spanish community and Italians, the Latino groups. Majority are Catholic, majority are Christians. We have a big power here. We, if you want, we stop all the cities because the majority of Portuguese, Spanish, and they are all in the construction. Means we stop all this. Stop the country. Stop in 2 minutes
Mm-hmm.
because these guys are saying they wanna do this, they wanna do that, they wanna kill, but they want the carpenter to go to their house, the plumber, the bricklayer. They wanna the all the nice stuff. But if you stop, you say, hey, or LGBT or LGBTs,
Mm-hmm.
hey, stop! This is gonna stop everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's enough. It's enough. You guys are destroying everything, and it's time for you guys go to the jail. That's it. That's need to be the people need to starting saying, and don't be afraid because if we are gonna be afraid, they're gonna kill everybody.
Yep.
Slowly, they're gonna kill everybody. If you know they wanna kill you and your family, why are you gonna stop?
Yep.
If
Exactly.
we gonna die, we're gonna die like a man.
That's
That's
right.
it. That's all men must say. If they wanna, I gonna die fighting, but
Mm-hmm.
dying like a mouse. This is the worst death to a man,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's why I'm saying to we need one of the words more repeat in the Bible is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That's the words more repeat in the Bible for some reason
Mm-hmm.
because the evil side, the dark side, the bigger weapon is the make the people would afraid of him, but he am afraid of us.
Yep. Yep. 100%. All right, King Helder, thanks for coming on the show on Mike in the Night tonight and giving us your opinions and thoughts and giving us an update on what's going on. And we'll get you back on soon enough, okay, brother?
Okay,
God
have
bless
a
you.
good night, everybody. God bless everybody.
God bless. Bye. All right, folks, that was King Helder, a Portuguese right. This is a Portuguese right. Um, Giving us an update on what is going on. All right, who else do we got here, guys? I'm just trying to see who is in the chat here, guys. I had someone message me, but it looks like they're gone now. Looks like they're gone from the chat. All right, send me a quick message here on Instagram. Real Mike Martins. Real Mike Martins on Instagram. Go ahead and find me, guys. And if you want to call into the show, got a few minutes left here. I'd like to wrap up with the last caller, if that's okay. Last show, Mike in the Night. Here, let's do a channel plug, guys. Thanks for everyone that's been buying me coffee lately. I really, really, really appreciate it. And if you want to pick me up a coffee, There it is right there. I'll put a link in the description, guys, in the live chat if you guys want to pick up your boy a coffee. I really, 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 really appreciate it very much. And also, guys, you could join the channel. You could join the 99 cent club if you want, and you want to donate $1 a month to the channel. That's fine. And you could also find replays of Mike in the Night, or you could find some MP3 formats of Mike in the Night on kiwiradio.nz. And guys, we passed 165,000 followers on Facebook. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been banned on Facebook probably 14 times already. And we have just passed 165,000 followers, guys. Thanks for being here and being part of the channel. And I really appreciate that. And mikeinthenight.org. 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 Goes back to episodes of Mike in the Night going back, I don't know how many years. Listen to our callers. There's a lot of people binge watching a lot of these older shows now and getting some really good information and entertainment value out of them. And there's a lot of videos going past 3, 4, 5,000 views now that have been up for a year, 2, 3 years now on Rumble here. And a lot of them we ported over from Odyssey because we got banned. We got banned everywhere. So there's the episodes of Mike in the Night. I mean, it's just an incredible show. Been working, here's 566. We've been working so hard on this show.
But in that time, I guarantee you that hundreds of thousands of Canadians are going to lose their homes because the Canada Revenue Agency is going out of its way to steal as much as they possibly can. Mike, I'll tell you what's going on with the CRA.
So this is episode 561, August 6, 2024, episode 561. We got a lot of good stuff here for you guys on Mike in the Night if you want to check out. Let's see this. Let's just pick up a random episode here. Let's see here. What is this? 567.
I don't think the mayor, Mr. Wang, has any problem with it, mate.
Oh, the mayor's Mr. Wang. Okay, I see where this is going.
I don't know if that's exactly his name, mate, but yeah, I didn't see any Aussies while I was there. So very, very interesting. Very utopian. I had some nightmares about it. It's very, very interesting indeed. But
so mikeinthenight.org, guys, you'll find all kinds of good stuff here. It goes all the way back. We could go back for hours and hours here, going over all this effort and time and just greatness that we trying to expose. It's just going back to some of these old hand to God. I found a house that I really like in Kentucky. It's 17 grand.
Does it come with a still?
It comes with a full house, and it comes with it looks like an old servant's quarter, like a house for the people to work on the land. It looked like it was a fruit orchard plantation kind of thingy. It's not far off the interstate. It's like 19 grand.
So it's set up for moonshining then. Sounds like it.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, for me, it would be different. I would use it to homestead. So, yeah. mikeinthenight.org. Go back and watch old episodes of Mike in the Night. I would really appreciate that support of watching some of the older episodes. ANG is saying, Mike, you were right in all your previous predictions. Smart. It's not really predictions. It's having the playbook, guys. We've been telling you guys about the playbook. If you have the playbook, you know what they're going to do. It's not about prediction. It's more about, but second week, I get so many people asking about the prediction show here on Mike in the Night. We do our prediction show every year, second week of December, where you call in. Everyone gets 5 minutes. The last prediction show we had, I think, 52 callers, and the one before prediction show we had to do 2 shows because we had over 100 callers calling in, giving us their predictions for the next year. So we're going to have our 2026 prediction show, second week of December, folks, where you're going to tell us your predictions and what you believe is going to happen for 2026 and where you see things happening. Again, It's not a prediction. It's more of, well, they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this. This is what's going to happen. I don't see it more as we're predicting things. It's just kind of what they got planned for us, right? So, someone say the playbook is government documents. Oh, I'm getting tired. I'm tired. We need Mouth of the South to get an Instagram account. I don't know if PSD or PDS is still watching there on. Are we still live on Rumble? Did we go down? Yeah, we got 17 people watching here on Rumble. But I'm wondering if we have still watching there on. If we got Mouth of the South here. If he could just grab an Instagram account for the sake of having one, it'd be good because then he could call into the show. And I would really appreciate that. You know what, guys? I'm going to give you guys my Instagram here. Let me see if I could find my actual Instagram here, like my proper Instagram. And I think this way you could contact me personally. I check all my Instagram messages because they're so easy to read because it's so accordingly documented. So it's easy for me to see who's messaging and who's requesting and who's, so there's my Instagram right there, guys. If you want to message me on there. And someone send me a $5. Oh, it's our usual suspect, RC Lemeroux, saying the American military is going to be arresting the entire Canadian Parliament. The entire Uniparty is going to jail. Yeah, I mean, they've been breaking laws here in Canada for so long. They've been destroying this country. Canada needs to start mass deportations of people that basically don't add anything to this country. Oh, I come Canada, I work bank. Go home. You want to come to Canada and work in a bank? Go home. There's so many homeless Canadians out there that have degrees in college, in university, that are homeless because I come Canada, I work bank. Fucking get out of here. Just like the Portuguese were deported in 2006, 7, and 8 from Ontario. When we weren't needed anymore. They came and deported us. So, everyone's saying, I wish in the comments, I wish in the comments. And then someone says, LOL, RC America has no authority in Canada. So, gonna enjoy a little bit of this drink here I'm drinking. All right, who else do we got? We got 25 minutes left. Who else is there? Anyone else out there? Guys, here, I'm going to give you this again. There's the email. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. You go ahead, email me. That's my personal email. Say, hey, Mike, add me to your mail list. I don't want to miss a show. Go ahead. I will add you to the mail list. You get one email a week. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Go ahead and do that. I would really appreciate that support. That I know that you guys are there for me. All right. Do we have any callers? Any more callers? Anyone wants to call into the show? Let me see who it is. Eduardo called in. Dallas Dalton went to bed. I'm just trying to see who is left here. That if you want to send me a quick message and help me wrap up the show. Chris is saying we don't want to be part of America. We have our own identity. What is the Canadian identity? I wasn't allowed to identify as a Canadian living here as a Portuguese. What is Canadian? I wasn't allowed to. If I put down Canadian, which I have on a job resume or a job application, I remember I put Canadian nationality. They called me in for an interview, but they didn't want to interview me. They told me that if I put Canadian again on an application form, they'll beat the shit out of me. So what is Canadian? Because I wasn't allowed to be Canadian. My parents weren't allowed to be Canadian. My kids are Portuguese. They were born in Canada, but they're Portuguese. We're not allowed to be Canadian. When I was in America, I'd meet an Arab. I'd meet an Italian. I'd meet a Jew. I'd meet people from all over the world in America. And they identified as American. They're all American. What are you? I'm American. Oh, well, I'm a Portuguese. I live in Canada, but we can't identify as Canadian living in Canada. Oh, Bitch Bannon's here. Someone's saying to call the Raven. Raven does not have Instagram, folks. So, RC Lamaro, I hope I'm saying that right, sent me another super chat saying, American military has complete authority if the Canadian government was working against the American people to destroy America. Exactly. And I've been making videos from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Watch them. America, wake up. Canada's your threat, not Iraq. Canada's destroying you guys down in the south. Fentanyl, Chinese gangs. Canada deports the Portuguese and say, get out of our country. We don't want Portuguese here no more. But they bring in people for what? We bring in other people that don't contribute nothing to build this country. Zero to build this country. So Smitty's saying Canada isn't even a country, never ratified the Constitution. It's a corporation and a corrupt one at that. That's exactly what it is. So, Smitty, why don't you add me on Instagram? Just message me. I like to get some of these people to call into the show. Chris Papas. If Chris Papas wants to call it, the founders of this country were Canadian, Irish, French, and Brits. That's correct. But until 1910, after World War II, it was the Portuguese, Italian, and the Greeks that came in. And let me tell you, on my street, I lived in Toronto, was all Portuguese, Italian, and Greeks, boy. We had different areas, but it was all European expansion. They deported us and to bring in the third world. Okay, guys, we got 20 minutes left. Anybody out there, anybody want to be a first-time caller on Mike in the Night? Let me go to my requests. I got no requests. Real Mike Martins. No requests. Yeah, Canada is an open-air mental asylum. That's great. That's correct. Canada's already India. Why? To cover the Chinese trillions of dollars of money laundering. Trillions, $2.4 to $2.6 trillion laundered from 2010 to March of 2024 from China. That Canada brought it right in. And all the fucking fentanyl and all the bullshit that's fucking killing our families. Motherfuckers. Dino Bravo's in the house, ladies. Dino Bravo. Yep. And they're trying to wipe us out now. Dino Bravo. How you doing, buddy? Eduardo still. Many Europeans came after the First World War. That's correct, boy. That's correct. Mike, it's me, Chris. I know, buddy. How you doing? It's been commenting. Chris, how long you been commenting on my live streams now? 2017, 2018? Maybe less. Maybe 2015? I would love to, Mike, but I'm not on social media. I have YouTube, that's it. We aren't allowed social media in my old unit, so I never got into it. That's okay, Smitty. I just like to hear from you, that's all. Someone's saying India has been bringing in the fentanyl also. It's all China. Fentanyl is produced in factories in China. I made the video in 2014 showing the provinces in China and how the Chinese piece of shit government has been facilitating the fentanyl to come and kill the youth here in the West. And it was going into the factories in Benito Juarez, Mexico, a Chinese factory in Mexico, bringing it through the southern border and through Canada, through the Kitimat. Fucking Kitimat. A port there, the Chinese were bringing in the fentanyl to murder the Canadian proper, to kill the Canadian proper. Fuck you, China. Fuck you. Woo! All right, budget. Everyone's talking about the budget in the comments. Everyone's talking about the budget. All right. Everyone's talking about the budget. Let's go to shorts. Let's find our budget video. Budget. 1 in 5 Americans. Fentanyl blame game. Malware. Is dog food safe to eat? Here we go. New community budget debunked. All right, here we go, folks. Make a video on the Canadian budget. Well, here we go, folks. They're spinning the same tired lie again. The headlines are screaming. Carney warns Canadians of austerity. And then what happens? He drops a so-called budget that spends like a drunken sailor on shore leave. Yeah, 141 billion is 140 billion in new spending over 5 years. Are you kidding me? That's not austerity. That's a spending spree dressed up in a trench coat. Okay, that makes sense. Pretending to be physical responsibility. They actually think Canadians are too dumb to notice that the word austerity is just a political perfume sprayed on a pile of fresh debt. That's a pretty cool one. So let's break it down. I read it. I took my time. I read it, and he says he's cutting waste. That's nice, but except the so-called savings is 51 billion over 5 years, and are nothing next to the 141 billion he's blowing. So he's spending 141 billion. That's like me telling you I'm going to go on a diet and then order 3 pizzas and a Diet Coke to balance it out. And here's the kicker. He's projecting a $78 billion deficit this year. $78 billion? In a country already drowning in debt, money laundering, fentanyl, homelessness, inflation, and collapsing productivity. This isn't austerity. It's a national suicide with the emoji smiley thingies? The smiley things the kids put on their photos? That's what it is. Remember what I told you? A man named Mark Carney is coming. And he'll be your next prime minister. Oh, you're not watching the Pierre Poilievre rally. You don't know what you're talking about. They said, let's tighten our belts. But whose belts? Not theirs. Not the politicians flying in private jets to climate conferences. It's your belt, your grocery bill, your taxes, your kids, your future. They'll freeze hiring in the public sector just long enough to say they did something, while quietly expanding programs that make government even more bigger and more unaccountable. So don't fall for it. There is no austerity. It's only an illusion. They warned of pain to prepare you to accept whatever comes next. and they dump another truckload of spending right on your back. It's classic gaslighting. So next time Carney or any of these suits are telling you cutting spending, how should we put it? How should we put this? If they're moving their lips, your wallets are shrinking. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. So someone asked me to make a... So there it is, folks. It's a video on the... they're spending so many billion to save no billions and spend more than what they're trying to sell us. All right, who else is here? I am not getting any requests here, folks. Real Mike Martins on Instagram. You're more than welcome to message me anytime. And Anthony is saying that's effing awesome, Mike. Yeah, man. I'm doing my best, guys. I just don't get out there. I'm so censored. YouTube has taken down 2006 of my videos. And it's been a struggle, like just trying to get my word out. I mean, trying to get the word out or what I'm thinking just to create a little bit of discussion, right? Yep. Sam over on Facebook is saying running all countries into the ground at the same time to bring in the NWO. Guys, we are live right now on 10 platforms, and we have a total of 864 people watching us live across 10 platforms. 864 people. That is a record here. According to this, it's 864, and I have your chats all combined from YouTube, Facebook. What else do I have here? Rumble, DLive, Twitch. So everything here is, and was that Kick or whatever that is? So hopefully, you know what, we got to get we got to get a Sandy on the show. We haven't had Sandy in a while. We need Chris Pastillas to call in. We need to start getting some people back on the show that haven't called in a while. To next Monday, hopefully people could we had Sandy on the show about a month ago. She's got some pretty good points, some interesting perspectives. But, yeah, we are, someone's asking me, why did I leave Odyssey behind? No, I'm not leaving Odyssey behind. It's just when I'm using the restreaming software, so I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, DLive, Kick, Twitch. So I can't add Odyssey. For some reason, when I try to use Odyssey on the restreaming, it doesn't work. It just... The live stream does not work. It just doesn't work on Odyssey. I don't know why. Yeah, Sandy said austerity is for us, not them. That's exactly what it is. And then Earthsign is saying a budget is itemized document money for what? Sam is saying I could call... No, you don't have to call in from your computer, brother. You call me on Instagram on your phone. Your phone, if you have Instagram, I think every phone comes with Instagram. Just add me on Instagram and just call me on Instagram. Anthony's saying Alberta Mancan misses his shit talking. Yeah, I miss Alberta Mancan. D-Man needs to come back on. I will try to call in next week, providing I don't get into a food coma or drink a quart of vodka, but it might be funnier that way. What is happening in BC and why is the government giving people homes to natives? We cover that too. Guys, we're covering all this stuff, guys. You guys need to set your notifications on YouTube so you could be updated on what the heck is going on here, because I am covering all this stuff. Where is that native one here? Let me play that one for you guys here. I think it was in... right here. Here we go. Want to pay real close attention if you are living in an English-speaking country and basically colonized. You see what's happening in Kamloops right now with these land grabs, right? It's the same old song, woke judges, failed government, and a bunch of people pretending they care about reconciliation. Well, they quietly set up a plan to take your land. Yes. First they do land acknowledgements. Remember the land acknowledgements? Oh, this is unceded territory. Sounds harmless, right? But that's step one. They say it enough times until it starts sounding like you're the one squatting on your own property. Yeah. Then the courts jump in. Activists, judges, who think they're social engineers. They'll say, we're not taking your homes. We're just recognizing traditional ownership. But watch how that turns into shared control, special permits, and restricted use. Before you know it, you're paying fees to use your own backyard. Then the banks get nervous. Oh, your land might be disputed. Boom, your mortgage rate goes up, insurance skyrockets, your property value drops. They won't bulldoze your house. They'll just make it too expensive to live there. What do you think they've been doing, folks? What do you think they've been warning you about? Next thing you know, they'll offer you a friendly buyout, pennies on the dollar. And the media will clap like a trained seal, like they usually do, calling it historic process, like stroke season's back, folks. That's how they'll take homes, not with guns, not with bulldozers, but with paper, pressure, and policy. Kamloops, this is how the system fails. And it's happening in Kamloops, and it's happening in Richmond right now. And it might happen right here in my backyard. They pretend it's about justice, but it's really about control. Wake up before they rewrite your deed while you're still living in your house. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken. Alright, that's that one there. Yeah, I'm covering all this stuff, folks. The UN is using the natives as pawns to try to steal our homes. They don't even care about the natives, says Dino Bravo in the comments.
Ricky Spanish.
So, many people are messaging me asking about the Raven. The only problem is the Raven doesn't have Instagram, and I don't think he's going to get Instagram. So, I don't think we'll be hearing from him ever again. Unfortunately, there's over 1 billion people on Instagram, and I have 100,000 followers on Instagram. That's why I use Instagram, because it's just easier for me to use their technology to work against them. And that's exactly what I am doing here, is I am working against their technology. So I'm sitting at, well, here it is, 147,000 followers on Instagram. And it's just so much easier to get people involved when you got such a big following on that platform. So we got Grandmaster B is lurking on DLive. Rico Man's on DLive too. Thanks, guys. So it looks like all platforms are kind of lighting up here tonight. And I think my Twitch is lighting up big time too tonight on Mike of the Night. And Kick. Yeah. I'm just trying to see who else is out there tonight, guys. Who is out there tonight on Mike of the Night? Mitch Madden in the house here. Oh, he's on Rumble. Mitch Madden's over on Rumble. Yeah, he's over on Rumble. All right, guys. It looks like we're not gonna get our final caller here on the show, but we will come back next week, next Monday. We're already in our third hour, so it's been 3 hours, guys. Guys, again, here's the email. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Go ahead and email me if you want to be part of our if you want to be part of our mailing list. I email you once a week when I go live, so you don't miss an episode. That's all you have to do. MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. You're on the mailing list, and you know when we go live. So we got someone saying, Mike, I'm going to try my first call next week. Hopefully the boys go to sleep earlier. School night. Yes, that's why we do Monday nights. The kids are in bed. You're not at a barbecue. You're not at a wedding or a bar mitzvah or whatever. It's Monday night. And it's Mike in the Night. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all been about all this time. That's why we're doing Mondays, folks. To try and get you people here. Hillary Clinton runs the UN like she's going to destroy Canada with Carney. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what's going on, folks. Oh, we got Earthquake, MRT in the house. Thanks for joining us. Late show. Yeah, we should get Earthquake to call in too. Because he's seeing what's happening around us. And it ain't good. Steve says I could call in. Yeah, next week. Real Mike Martins, just message me. And I'll get you on Mike in the Night. We'll get you on next week's show. Thanks, everyone, for the coffees, guys. I'm going to be signing out. If you just joined the show, if you want to watch replays, go to mikeinthenight.org. And you can see what's going on. Anyways, guys, it's time to...
You see us talking here, that's for the talk, 'cause now we're planning ahead for the streets. Mike in the night room, oh, Mike in the night room. We like this, we like this, oh no. Mike, don't worry about a thing. Voice of the Commonwealth, don't you worry about a thing. Around the back, we'll keep on talking. Mike will be the one to do the talking. Down here on Peasant Street, city of all broken dreams. Mike's still on the air. We like this. We like this. We like this. Oh no, no.
Thank you, D-Man. Thank you, Earthquake. Thank you, Mitch Madden.
Mike in the Night live stream.
Thanks for joining us here on Mike in the Night.
Mike in the Night.
Mike in the Night signing off for season 30.
What is it you want
Season
from
33,
me?
episode 8. Thanks for being here, folks.
And do they steal our
I have
dreams
spoken.
so